I found an answer. I found one.
All right.
You ever eat the giblets?
No, I don't eat that stuff. Some people do that.
I don't.
That's gross.
Jesus.
I don't like it. Well, we're going to start with Len Lorenz.
I don't know. I don't have an answer.
No, you have to have
Wait.
one.
Yeah.
I don't have none.
Okay, we're going to go around. We'll go to Mike Doyle.
I said neck.
You said neck. Okay. Steve?
I said the beak.
The beak. That's good. That's good.
Peter?
What did you say, Len?
I didn't say anything.
No, I'm giving you a chance now.
Yeah, which one of ours two do you want to use?
I'm taking the neck, I guess.
There you
Taking
go.
the neck. All right. Well, I also said neck.
Yeah, there you go.
Wow. What
I
a
had a
great...
long time to stuff a turkey for 11 hours.
For 11 hours.
11 hours.
How come nobody said? How come nobody said rump?
Well, because that's where you
That's
stuff it,
Eric's
don't you?
answer.
No, you stuff it in the. Don't you stuff it in the neck cavity there, right?
The neck cavity.
Right.
You do? The
Yeah.
neck? Oh, you don't put it in the other end?
The other end is the.
Wow. Thank everyone for playing today.
The other end might be where we find the key.
Right.
Yeah, well.
Oh, really? Where the hell is that key?
I don't know.
I'm
I'm telling you.
Mystery.
Look in Eric's cart or his fanny pack.
I don't think
or
it's Eric.
something.
Eric wasn't here on Tuesday.
No, he was here Monday.
He was here Monday. It
He'll
went
be back
missing on
on
Tuesday,
Monday.
right after the appearance of Alderman Bill Barry on Matt's show.
Somebody could he use it?
Hey.
No,
Could've-
Matt didn't do it. Matt remembers putting it back. I used it once. I remember putting it back because actually Bill Barry was here on the show and I was very, very quiet. I opened the door quietly to put the key back.
Oh,
And you did
But
put
then
the
I
key back.
didn't come back for
so
a
whoa,
while.
whoa, we're onto something here. So you were the last one to touch the key.
No, I wasn't.
You just said I put it.
No,
back.
that's the last time I saw it.
Right.
That's the last time I saw the
Well, so that's the last.
And
The
then it was
plot
missing.
thickens.
Right, the plot
key.
thickens.
No, because then Bill
That's-
Barry used the restroom. I heard that he used the restroom.
Oh, you heard about that.
So
What-
he's the
what-
last. Lenny
what-
here thinks Bill Barry did it.
What day?
I don't
What
know.
day did you put the key back? What day do you remember hanging it up?
Monday.
Tuesday.
Did you have a fanny pack that day?
I did not. I don't wear a fanny pack.
Well, sometimes.
No, I never do. I've never had.
Nobody,
You were a
Eric
patrol
has
leader. You had to have a fanny
No,
pack.
I didn't wear a fanny pack.
No,
I did it.
Fanny pack.
I never wore one because they don't make one big enough.
Well, I just didn't. I wouldn't wear anything like that. Steve, do you wear a fanny pack?
Never.
No.
Lenny, we're not even going to ask.
No, I don't. This
You're a man's man.
Right.
belt.
He just has a belt.
A leather belt.
No, the only one with a fanny pack is Eric, but
And that's where the key is.
Hey, don't forget about up at McIntyre this weekend. You have the big ski swap starts today, Saturday, and yeah, get up on the McIntyre if you're a skier. A lot going on up there. Mike, have a great weekend.
Yeah, congratulations, MMHS Field Hockey.
Yeah, and
Great
go,
season.
Go Red Sox. We're going to the
Red
World
Sox.
Series.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, they are.
And Lenny, thank you so much.
Okay, bud.
You really think Bill Barry took the key?
I don't know if he did.
No, you said Bill Barry took the key.
No, you did.
No, I think you did.
I did not.
I don't
Bill,
know.
hello, and I don't think it.
You think he did? You
I
think?
don't know if he did.
No, you think he did?
I don't know if he did.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Lenny, have a great weekend.
Enjoy.
Don't forget to go
See you
see DEF CON. They're playing at the Davignon Club Saturday night. Don't forget to check out our friends at Scalawag. They're over at the Rover. A lot going on. And I loved it last week. Steve, I'm gonna have you close out the show this week.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Now clear the floor and have a great weekend.
Good evening, I'm Len Ouellette, and I live at 112 Auburn Street. And I haven't been here for a while. Been pretty busy. You know, education is very important. And now that I have, two teenage sons of my own that I'm settling in, going to school in 2 different countries, it's a lot of work.
Diz's Cafe is the place to put a smile on your face. Judy and the crew will take care of you. Bring your appetite and treat your taste buds right. Diz's Cafe is always a winning choice. Breakfast, lunch, or supper. Diz's Cafe at 860 Elm Street in downtown Manchester. Dine in, take out, or make a reservation. Call 603-606-2532. Eat, drink, and be happy. Diz's Cafe.
Bring your kitchen to life with Queen City Cabinetry, located at 87 Elm Street in the historic Sunbeam Mall in Manchester. Open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. and Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. They can be reached at 603-222-2007 or on the web at queencitycabinetrynh.com. Come see the possibilities. Queen City Cabinetry, another proud sponsor of WMNH.
You are listening to WMNHLP, Manchester's radio, broadcasting at 95.3 FM from the top of 1000 Elm Street. Our studios are located at 119 Canal Street and licensed to Manchester Public Television Service in Manchester, New Hampshire, USA.
WMNH.
Epic. That is Titan's Grip. That is Questing Beast is the name of the band. And we're going to talk to them in a moment. They are in studio with us. Welcome, everybody. This is Matt Connarton Unleashed, and we are live from the studios of WMNH 95.3 FM in glorious Manchester, New Hampshire. And, of course, you can also stream the show. Go to mattconnerton.com/live for all of your live streaming options, social media links, contact info, show archives, etc., etc. Today is Saturday, October 19, 2024. And we've got a big show for you today. We have Questing Beast. Second hour, we've got Temple Mountain is coming back. Third hour, we have Dead by Wednesday. Lots of... today is action-packed. So Jenny is not here with me this week, but she'll be back next week. But without further ado, joining us in studio here is Shane and Jane from Questing Beast. Welcome.
Thanks for having us.
So is it just the two of you? Is this the band? Is the two of you?
No, so as far as right now, our full band, we also have Jane's older brother Joe is our singer.
Oh, okay.
And then we have a drummer who's not related to any of us, but he's kind of like having a grandpa and an uncle in the same person.
Okay. What does that mean? Elaborate, if you would. I mean, we're not in the South, so this, I'm confused.
Well, he's fun and goofy like your uncle.
Okay.
But in many ways is very old like your grandpa.
Okay, that makes sense. Gotcha.
And that's Christian. Yeah. He's great.
Yeah, he's a phenomenal drummer too.
Phenomenal drummer.
Well, very good. So what do you each do in the band?
We both play guitar.
You both play guitar. Yeah. Okay. Very cool. And you've got a big show tonight. We should plug that right off the top. You're going to be playing at Terminus.
Correct, yeah, Nashua.
With, let's see, Dead Harrison, the Negans, the Grey Curtain, Horror, and Able Blood.
Yes.
All great bands. Actually, out of all those bands, so the Negans, we have not had them on the show yet, but everyone else has been on the show.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Yeah, we had the Grey Curtain, Horror, and Able Blood. Geez, was that last week? It becomes a blur. But yeah, all great bands, and Able Blood has actually been on the show a few times now.
We played our first gig with them.
Yeah.
Actually.
Oh, with Able Blood?
Yeah.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, that's awesome. That song, Titan's Grip, and we'll play more later, but really takes you on a journey. You know,
absolutely.
Lots of cool changes in it, and very, very complex. But let me start with this, because I kind of have a little bit of an idea just from Googling Questing Beast. But what is that? What is Questing Beast? Where does the name come from?
So the name comes from Arthurian legend. I saw it on a magic card and I was like, that's epic. That's an epic name. It's a great name for a band. And I did some research, found out it's from the Arthurian legend, read the legend, was like, I don't want to write that story. That story's been written and it's got nothing to do with anything that I want to write music about. So I came up with a different story that's kind of about the birth of the Questing Beast. So I gave it like its own origin story and everything.
Okay.
And I basically had that outline, and then we sort of wrote songs based on where we thought it would fit, like within the storyline.
So the story came first, and then the songs came based on the story?
Yes.
I think that the only song that may not be true for is Call of the North, because that was the first one that we wrote.
Oh.
And we had just gotten together and we're like, oh yeah, big riffs, here we go.
Yeah.
And so I was like, that song specifically, I was like, what does this make me feel like? I was like, it makes me feel like I'm actually going on like a long expedition somewhere. So it felt to me like that one specifically, I was like, this is about going to a place. So like Call of the North seemed like a good name, you know?
Okay. But the rest of the songs are based on the story or the outline of the story?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Did the story change at all?
Oh yeah.
You know, as you're writing these songs, I can see how that might happen, where as you're writing them and they kind of evolve and form, the story itself changed as well?
Oh yeah, and the story is still changing. The idea is that we want this to be like a trilogy.
Oh, okay.
And so like we're constantly thinking about, like, still analyzing like the first album even to be like, you know, how does this dictate where we go in the second album, you know? And it's a really interesting way to write, but it is also I mean, I understand why like all the Game of Thrones books aren't done, you know?
Yeah.
I'm just doing it with an album. This is like 9 pages of text maybe, you know?
Yeah.
Lots of writing.
Yeah, no, I can imagine. And the songs themselves are complex. Is that the most challenging part of it? Is creating the music to go with the story?
So, kind of, because the story dictates so much of what like our musical decision making is.
Yeah.
And not just lyrically, right? Lyrics is an entire other realm of added layers of description to the story. The music itself is so dictated by what we're trying to convey in each song as a story point.
Okay.
That the music itself, so you say it sounds like going on a journey, and that's because the music itself is telling a huge bit of story.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not every song is telling so much as far as information goes, but it's so much world building, and we're trying to convey so many little nuanced emotions and basically explaining something through music. So it came out, everything was just so much challenge. Like, we would get something down, we felt like it explained what we wanted to do, then we'd listen to it and be like, well, this doesn't sound amazing musically.
Okay.
So we have to change it now to kind of sound amazing musically, but now we feel like it doesn't convey what we wanted to say in the story.
Yeah.
So you can see how, if you're not careful, we would go back to the drawing board on either the music or the story too many times, to where like sometimes we had to stop and just like fall back. Some stuff happened naturally. This song being one of them. I didn't want to write this song.
What do you mean?
I didn't want to write this song because we already had, I think we had
6 songs.
Yeah, we had 6 songs, and I felt like it was good. You know, with the addition of the 2 instrumentals on the album, it would have been 8 songs, right? No. It would have been...
With the instrumentals.
Oh, we wrote 2 more after that, right? Because then we wrote Beneath Red Leaves, too. But yeah, I didn't want to write this song because I just felt like, okay, we're good. We've written enough. This is our first album. And I actually remember sitting down with a little bit of what he wrote, and just everything became so complex so quick, and I was angry the whole time I wrote it.
Yeah.
I was like, dang it, this is going to be so complex.
Oh, this is awesome.
Right.
Damn it.
Yeah.
I would imagine, too, you see, I've played in a lot of bands, but nothing,
Sure.
I never played in anything like this. You know, every band I ever played in, it was, you know, verse, chorus, your standard thing.
Yeah.
And so I've always been kind of fascinated by, just what must go into writing the songs and then learning the songs and then rehearsing the songs.
Yeah. Writing and learning are definitely 2 different things.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I can imagine. Yeah. You must have to rehearse quite a bit, right? For the live
for
shows,
sure.
because
every week
you've got to be if you're a punk band and you're playing 3 chords and you make a mistake, nobody even notices.
Right.
But with what you're doing, if somebody makes a mistake, it's probably hard to even hide that, right?
Yeah, there's certain points in different songs where it's almost like you're like surfing on a razor's edge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like if you fall off, it is not easy to get back on.
I can imagine. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
We also have like the added challenge of not having a live bass player right now.
Okay.
So our drummer plays to a click track. And
Yeah.
so we have like bass tracks at the moment.
Yeah.
But it allows us to do cool things, like it automatically like switches out the synth patch that we're using as we're playing and stuff like that. So
Oh, wow.
it allows us to like use all these different synths that we made for the record live too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it makes it a little bit easier. Recording and learning and playing are just whole 3 separate things for this.
Yeah.
Recording is so bit by bit, sentence by sentence, basically. If you think about it in terms of writing a story, it's like writing sentence by sentence, let alone lyrics. I don't even get in on lyrics. I'm more on the music side of things.
Yeah.
I contributed 1 lyric to this whole album, truly. And so, yeah, like writing it just is so intensive. And it took us 2, almost 3 years to just write this. Any music that we're going to write that's expanding on this is going to take us probably a similar time frame.
Yeah.
But then learning it is like, okay, now that we have the finished product and all the riffs are what they're going to be and all the orders of everything is pretty much decided on, now try to learn all that while standing up, switching effects, and doing backing vocals. And then sometimes you're like, oh, I can't, we have to figure out, delegate who's going to play what sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, Sometimes we need to put something in a backing track because there's too many parts.
Oh, okay.
Stuff like that. So it's a whole puzzle, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, like the beginning of Titan's Grip. We don't hire 3 dudes to come up and play that harmony at the beginning.
Right.
Would be great. We don't have it like that.
Yeah. So who plays bass on the studio tracks? Does one of you do that, or?
No, so we got a guy, his name's Chase Bryant. He plays in a band called Warbringer. They're like a LA thrash band.
I was going to say, yeah, I've heard
awesome.
of Warbringer.
Yeah, they're great. I love them.
Shouts out Chase, nicest guy, amazing bass player. Played the whole album on fretless bass in 2 days.
No kidding.
Yeah,
Yes.
finger style. Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
He's a
absolute monster.
Absolute monster. Absolute great guy. Super happy to have him just doing his thing. It was awesome.
That's another thing that I'm always impressed, because I'm a bass player. So, but I've never played a fretless, and that always impresses me too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people, when I tell them that he's playing fretless on it, they can't even tell because it's just so in tune.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Our friend Lacey, who I am in the chat room, says that's why so much can be lost in studio work. So clinical. I see Jenny is in there as well. Hello, good morning. So when you do you play these live before you record them, or do you? Do you? Okay, so you don't go into the studio and then once that's done, start playing them live, or?
No. Well, we like demo out all the tracks.
Yeah.
So we've got Ableton on my computer at the practice space.
Yeah.
And we just record on that the demo version.
Okay.
Send that off to the studio that we actually want to record at. We went to Mad Oak Studio in Alston and recorded with Benny Grotto.
Okay.
Who did a great job.
Yeah. No, everything sounds amazing. Yeah.
But so sometimes we kind of play it live before we put it into the demos, but most of the time we get the demos done. We get that to a point where we like it, and then that's when we start the learning process.
Okay.
And then we go in and record for realsies.
Yeah.
and go into the big boy studio.
Yeah.
But I forget what her name was, but who said something about studios being clinical and
Lacey.
Yeah, Lacey. So there's definitely, I think, one or two. There's certain things that I think can be kind of sporadic when you're like actually composing and stuff like that, and there's certain things that are like difficult to replicate non-spur of the moment.
Yeah.
Like, for example, there's a version of the Corruption solo that I had a long time ago that I kind of wish I had still had for, like, it was just a specific recording where I was like in my room with the amp and it was like super feedbacky.
Yeah.
And it sounded terrible, but awesome because of how, like, I don't know, raw it sounded. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, like, it's always like very minute details like that. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, this song is ruined because we recorded in a good space. You know?
Right. No, that makes sense. How many hours do you think? Probably hard to put a number on it, but like just learning to play one of these songs proficiently. I mean, that's.
I can tell you, I don't know about all the songs. I mean, some of them are easier than others.
Yeah.
But I can tell you that the Beneath Red Leaves solo, the Beneath Red Leaves solo specifically, took me so long. I probably every day leading up to going in to play that in the studio for like 2 weeks at least, spent like 2 hours a day just like ripping through that thing trying to get it down.
No kidding.
Oh yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, that song taught me. That song taught me how to play rhythm guitar differently.
Really?
Yeah, 100%. I play that song differently and more efficiently than I did when we went and recorded it. It taught me like deficiencies in how I played certain things.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So talk about a learning process. Like
Yeah.
I learned the song, but then I kept learning from it for about a year to where I am now with it.
Yeah.
Same with him, honestly. Like it informs us so much about our ability, because you can write something, right, piece by piece, and you can make a demo. And then when you go to play it all at once, all the way through, you really like find out about yourself. You know?
I can imagine.
Yeah. You know, going from playing all this rhythm to lead, and he's, you know, playing all the lead, and it's crazy. So
wow. Yeah. Have you ever written something where or just had an idea where you maybe you record it and everything, so you're committed to it, and then you kind of have a moment where you go, geez, I don't know, I'm kind of regretting this one a little bit.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
All the time.
Oh yeah, we're
really.
we edit super hard. We cut things that we don't like and try and make it work better.
Yeah.
I think that one of the things that we really want to focus on going forward is like, I don't know, just getting better at making sure everything fits together well.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Not that I don't think that the stuff on the first record fits together well, song by song, but I think that there's always room for improvement.
Sure.
You know?
Sure. And how important is it to you as players when you play live to replicate exactly, like, do you try to replicate exactly note for note what's on the recordings, or do the songs breathe a little bit, or how does?
There's not really a lot of breathing room. There's a lot of very specific harmony that's going on and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So and that's not to say that there aren't places where we could incorporate some.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'd say as far as note choice, it's never different. As far as certain stylistic things, we goof off a little bit here and there. But we're still playing pretty much what's written.
Okay.
And almost, I'd say 99%.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. If you're just joining us, we have Questing Beast here with us live in studio on this Saturday morning, and I think we should play another track. I'd love to hear another one. So we'll play this At Crater's Edge.
Oh yeah.
What should we know? Anything we should know about this specifically before we hear it?
No, I want people in the comments to try and guess what the footsteps are.
Okay. Okay.
What's making that sound, people?
Okay. All right. So, well, that's a clue then. So they're not actual footsteps?
That is correct.
Okay. All right. Pay attention. Listen closely, everybody. All right. So this is Questing Beast, and this song is called At Crater's Edge. Hey, everybody, I made a mistake. Sorry about that. Let's try this one. I'll edit that on the podcast. There we go. That is At Crater's Edge by Questing Beast. And we have 2 members of the band. There's those footsteps again. All right, where do the footsteps come from? Oh, I can't. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I just hadn't started yet.
I thought it looked like your mouth was moving. And I'm like, oh no, I didn't unmute the mic.
I was trying to think of how I wanted to approach the answer.
Gotcha. I didn't see any guesses in the chat room. So,
well, it came from a box of rocks. What you're hearing is a box of rocks.
Really?
Cardboard box with a bunch of rocks inside of it. It's some advanced studio equipment.
Oh.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. Let's see. In the chat room, Hans Smith from the band Sepsis was saying that the instrumentals make him feel like he's on an adventure on the sea.
Oh,
very nice.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Nice.
Lacey says a strong Queensryche vibe.
Thank you.
Right on.
Is that one of your influences, Queensryche?
I wouldn't say specifically, but love Queensryche.
Yeah.
And that's a huge compliment.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. I saw somebody else in here too. Oh, B. Pinard is in the chat room. Big supporter of the show. Hello. Nice to see you in there. And also Miriam Banish joins us in the chat room. Yeah, tell me more about influences. I imagine, a lot of prog and really complex stuff for both of you. I would guess.
Yeah, sure. I'm just gonna do a quick top 5.
Yeah.
So for me, like my favorite 2 bands are Death Clock and Queens of the Stone Age.
Yeah.
And so I feel like my guitar playing is kind of like somewhere in between those 2 sort of bands. But outside of that, Baroness is great. Mastodon as well. Both of those bands, I think, were actually very influential to me throughout the writing process of this first one, just as far as their ability to take these big sprawling concepts, like from start to finish on these records,
Yeah.
in their own ways. And I guess I have to think of, I said 5.
You did say 5, yeah.
There is another one. I know for sure there's another one. I don't know, just various. There's lots of stuff, to be honest with you. I'm all over the place as far as like listening to like technical death metal and like all these various things.
Yeah.
Jane, why don't you take over while I think of what a definitive 5 is?
I'd say early on when I first started getting into progressive music was high school, and my big 3 would be Dream Theater, Rush, and Porcupine Tree.
Okay.
And just as far as progressive music goes, and I was in a band in high school where we didn't cover any Dream Theater, but that was my aspiration. I was in a band with this guy, Adam Susi, amazing drummer. Shouts out Adam Susi. And we just covered these prog songs, and that's a huge influence on me. I religiously listened to Dream Theater, Rush. I grew up on Rush. My mom introduced me to Rush when I was really young.
Yeah.
And then the heavier side of things, I started to get into, like, I started off with some like metalcore bands. I think my earliest like real heavy band influence was a band called As Blood Runs Black.
Okay.
An old metalcore band. But I started to really get into more technical death metal and stuff like that when I got into college. But I come from a very diverse background. Like, I was a jazz musician growing up, and I love hip hop. I made a lot of hip hop too. So
Really?
Yeah, for sure. And that was a humongous portion of my education in music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Was all those influences. So huge love for hip hop, huge love for technical death metal. I'd say the band that really bridged the gap for me when I was young between all that prog stuff and the more heavy stuff was a band called Born of Osiris.
Oh, nice.
And that's when I learned about like Jason Richardson as a guitar player and started to kind of, all my favorite shredders played the same guitars now. And, really got into a lot of that stuff. So huge influence on me, those guys, John Petrucci, obviously, but all that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought of my number 5.
Okay.
It's definitely Warbringer.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay. Good
Yeah,
choice.
I don't know why that took me so long.
Well, it's early. Very good, very good. If you are just joining us, of course, we do have Questing Beast here with us live in studio, and they're playing a big show tonight. Of course, our friends at Terminus Underground in Nashua. Let's see. This is the show has a specific name. The Haunted Halloween. Oh, Hallowed and Haunted.
Yes,
Want to make
that's
sure
the one.
Want to make sure I got the name right. Yeah, Terminus is a great place. Have you been there yet?
No, not yet.
I tell everybody the same thing. When you walk in, it's like walking into a different world. When you walk into that room specifically.
Oh, I'm stoked.
It's really cool.
Apparently, they're decorating it all up and stuff.
Okay.
Or they were last night and everything. So it should be all good to go now. So it's going to look awesome in there tonight.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, that's going to be tonight. Questing Beast along with Dead Harrison, the Negans, the Grey Curtain Horror, and Able Blood. Tickets are $20. You can get them. You have to go to midnightcreativescollective.com. Tickets are available there. And that is, show starts at 8 p.m. So,
I think show starts at 6.
Oh, does it?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, I think doors are 6.
No, doors are 5 o'clock.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I was looking at the wrong thing. Yeah,
All
you're
good.
right. Doors are 5. Yeah.
Music
No-
starts at 6.
No,
and
it's good you corrected me because, yeah, we don't want people showing up there late.
At least one of us is paying attention.
You're welcome.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's a lot of bands, so it's good that it's starting early. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
And we're actually opening this one, which is nice.
Oh, you are, yeah.
Which is nice because we'll be able to get there, set up immediately, and then hang out forever.
Do you? That's right. Is there? Do you have a complex setup?
Yeah, I mean, so all 4 of us do vocals, and
Yeah.
then we've got the computer that our drummer triggers all the tracks from and everything.
Yeah.
It's kind of a pain.
I can imagine. Yeah.
I mean,
it's a pain for us. I mean, if we cut out a vocal, it would still just be 3 vocals and then a few XLRs to the house. But it's more of a pain for us than it should be more of a pain for us than any sound guy, or
Yeah.
girl. But
that has not
currently.
been the case so far.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I can see how. Yeah, I can imagine. And I think usually when it's a band with kind of a a really complex, sophisticated sound, there's usually more to it. Like I said, compared to, say, for example, just a punk band.
Yeah, sure.
Right.
There's,
When we get booked on gigs like that, we do feel a unique kind of pressure, especially if we're right in the middle of the bill.
Oh yeah.
Just because, and it's not like we're not quick, and it's not like we haven't done this before,
Yeah.
And I couldn't have streamlined. I set up our Ableton session that has the click track, that has all of our synths on it, that has all of the bass tracks on it, and we have some simple stuff. We just have to run cables to the house. That's it. We have to set up all the hard stuff.
Right.
And it's a huge brain puzzle for me, to troubleshoot stuff in real time.
Yeah.
If anything's wrong, and then also set up my own guitar stuff and my own microphone and make sure I can hear myself and all that good stuff.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that ever happen where something goes wrong on the tech end and you gotta, like you said, troubleshoot on the spot in real time?
Thankfully, it's pretty funny. I think we have 90% of those issues at home when we're practicing.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Good. Yeah. Well, that's how it should go. Yeah.
And I think it's all set up at this point so well, as far as like something really tragic would have to happen to move the click track so it's not in the right spot or something like that. You know? So I think we've got it pretty solid at this point.
Yeah.
Knock on wood.
I think there's also, like I said, there's always improvements to be made, especially once you start thinking about gear. I mean, that's an endless rabbit hole that'll leave you homeless if you go too far.
Yep. Well said. Now, what is so this album here? This has not been out that long, right? This is relatively new.
Yeah, it came out in June.
In June. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
New to everybody else.
Yeah. Are you already thinking about the next one in terms of are you already writing for it or?
Yeah. I mean, we're always writing. You
Yeah.
know? I mean, we play guitar. I play guitar personally at least like 3 hours a day is a bad day for me.
Yeah.
And so I'm writing on accident. you know.
Yeah.
And then we're also writing on purpose.
Yeah.
Right.
That too.
Right.
At least once to a couple of times a week right now. We're definitely back in the shop.
Yeah. This is like gonna be our last show, I think, for this year. And we'll have a bunch of stuff to announce for next year, obviously, and everything when the time comes. But
sure,
we're gonna take this like hibernation time. I think is like a nice writing period, just to kind of hang out and not necessarily even think about the first record for a little bit.
Right.
Maybe play it, and that's about it.
Play it some.
Right. Yeah, you're gonna have to even during your hibernation period, shall we say? You're still gonna have to play it, because you don't want to risk forgetting any of that.
You gotta.
Yeah.
You definitely gotta keep the coals stoked.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
The upkeep on this stuff is unlike anything I've ever had.
I can imagine. Yeah.
It's impossible for me to store certain things in a spot in my brain that's gonna stay forever.
Yep.
Unless I play it all the time.
Yeah.
There's so much stuff up here, so.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Do you play the full album live?
We have.
We did it at our release show.
Okay.
We did it front to back.
Okay.
I wouldn't mind doing that again, but a lot of the times it doesn't seem like the most prudent way to get through a show. And a lot of times we're only getting like half-hour sets and stuff like that too,
Yeah. What is it? Because some of the songs are pretty long, but
Right.
What does it clock out at? Do you know?
43 minutes
Oh,
total.
okay.
Yeah.
It's not that bad as a whole. There's a lot of like interlude stuff.
Yeah.
And as far as what we're playing, it's probably closer to like 40 minutes.
Okay.
The issue is to play this album in the time span that's outlined as it is for everybody to listen to live is, pretty exhausting.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, you need like a few minutes in between to take a deep breath. And because we do go song to song sometimes.
Oh, do you? Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I don't think that the album itself is in the best order for a live show, though.
Yes.
Okay. So it's in the order for the story, obviously, but not necessarily for the live show. That
Correct.
makes sense. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a good vibe to listen to, but it's like awkward to play through in that order, I think. And
Okay. No, that makes sense. Hans Smith in the chat says, "Let the hibernation begin." Yeah, well, I mean that is what a lot of bands do, though. At least in this part of the country, in the winter, focusing on writing and recording.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, what am I gonna do? Go drive, 5 hours to play for $50 in New York when it's like snowy outside? Like,
Yeah.
it's gonna be cold. I'm gonna smash my fingers while it's cold. Who wants to do that?
Yeah. That's something I don't miss about. There are things that I miss about playing live, but that's one of the things I don't miss is doing shows in the winter and if the weather's bad and and then you don't know, is it going to be canceled? Are you going to get there and find out it's canceled?
Right.
There's a lot that goes with it that can be quite miserable.
Yeah. No, exactly.
Well, we'll begin to wrap up. We'll play. I was thinking we to end the segment, maybe we'll play Corruption.
Oh, sure.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Yeah. I like this one a lot.
Oh, cool.
Thank you.
So, of course, where should people go to find you online? What's the best place to go? Because if you just Google Questing Beast, a lot comes up. So
if you Google Questing Beast Band, we've got a website up, and we'll have a online store there within the next week.
Oh, excellent.
We just got vinyl in, so we're going to be trying to get rid of that as soon as we possibly can.
Oh, very good. Very good. Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can find us on any social media, Facebook, Instagram. You can stream.
Those are the main ones.
Yeah, you can stream our music basically anywhere. Spotify, Apple Music, even Tidal if you want to listen to some high-quality audio.
Yeah.
Excellent. Very good.
Shout out to Tidal.
Yeah. Woo.
Yes. And we'll remind everybody, of course, the Hallowed and Haunted Halloween show tonight, and Questing Beast is opening. Doors open at 5. The show goes to midnight, and also with Dead Harris and the Negans, Able Blood, Horror, and The Gray Curtain. So have a great show tonight.
Thanks.
I'm sure it'll go fantastically.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for coming in. This has been great.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely, I'm definitely a fan. So I really
appreciate it.
Really like what you're doing. So if you are listening live on Saturday morning, we have Eric from Temple Mountain is going to be joining us, and I think he's going to be playing live in studio. I think he brought his guitar, and he has a brand new single to debut on the show. So But we are going to end this segment with this. This is from the album is Birth. By the way, where does the title come from? I assume it relates to the story.
It's about the birth of the questing beast.
Okay, makes sense.
Yep.
Makes sense. All right, so we're going to end the segment with this track. This is really good. This is called Corruption from Questing Beast here on Matt Connarton Unleashed.
Crimson bills along my thoughts cast back in time. through a mansion, answering a standing question, left alone through phobias. I know you left me questing, destiny is festering, obsessing on my lessons learned. I think I've earned some respite, guess it's time to burn the desperate yearning, furloughed, slowed to cope with later, greater understanding, handling matters as a man and standing up for what we know is right and making our demands, and never giving in to ghosts, just hoping for a change. It never comes as long as you don't run. It's fundamentally essential. Central intel spells it out. It sounds a bit like self-help wellness. You've already won. It's all about the combined sum. Time is an illusion. You can do it cause you've done it someday. Some say prove it to yourself, and that's enough to use the runway. Planes be taking off aloft in skies, no lies to try to blind us. Flying freely, feeling fine and finding flight paths that define us. Climbing higher than we dared. You scared to fall back to the ground, resounding off the atmosphere. It's clear. It's clear.
We'll never come back down. Oh no. We're all artists, painting on this canvas. Our sparks lit, we're burning like the stars. We've got scars and we've earned them working hard, so hard. Well, you know that you got this. I said, well, you know that you got this.
I feel a little better about this. Read a lot of lyrics. Need a bit to sit and settle myself down before I hear it. Fear has nothing to do with this. I insist I'm the sincerest. Gear up, dust off, scrape the rust off. You can try, but none can pierce. Six off this path that at last I have found. So many floors and locked doors I've torn down. How many more before I'm forced to lay down and take a break before I break and fade out? Listening to this, it's got me thinking about what's missing. It's insensitive, obsessing over every single mistake, taking time and making rhymes to take my minds off all this sickness. Witnessing between the lines, there's something written. You got this. 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 You got this.
Well, you know that you got this. I said, well, you know that you got this.
Peeking through these windows, watching people fall when wind blows, holding on to hope that no one folds beneath the weight of carrying their burdens, hurting inside and out, crying, trying to be something someday, some way, somehow, someone that they can be proud of, show the world what they climbed out of, holding on to who they were while turning into something more, be putting keys in their own doors, ensuring deeds to just be sure so they won't need to need no more. Indeed, we bleed to lead the score, imploring we don't need to war. We can be we without being forced, 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 we without being forced.
In times of crisis, you need a law firm that stands by your side. With over 40 years of experience, Craig & Getsoulis is dedicated to fighting for your rights. As former state prosecutors, our attorneys have the knowledge and trial experience to provide an aggressive defense against any charge, from DUIs to homicides. If you've been injured, our compassionate team will assess your case and fight for the compensation you deserve. Serving all of New Hampshire, Craig & Getsoulis is here when you need us most. Visit craigatzulis.com or call 603-555-1234 for a free consultation. Craig & Getsoulis, your advocates, your allies. Bring your kitchen to life with Queen City Cabinetry, located at 87 Elm Street in the historic Sunbeam Mall in Manchester. Open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. and Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. They can be reached at 603-222-2007 or on the web at queencitycabinetrynh.com. Come see the possibilities. Queen City Cabinetry, another proud sponsor of WMNH.
Diz's Cafe is the place to put a smile on your face. Judy and the crew will take care of you. Bring your appetite and treat your taste buds right. Diz's Cafe is always a winning choice. Breakfast, lunch, or supper. Diz's Cafe at 860 Elm Street in downtown Manchester. Dine in, take out, or make a reservation. Call 603-606-2532. Eat, drink, and be happy. Diz's Cafe.
When it comes to keeping WMNH on the air and your own personal or business computer needs, trust Groland Computers. Located on Elm Street in Manchester, Groland handles computer repair, virus removal, and custom-built systems. Are you looking for budget-friendly options? Check out our selection of fully inspected used computers. We offer tailored on-site solutions. No unnecessary expenses here. Visit Groland.com or call Groland Computers at 603-645-0101. Your tech, your way. Trust Groland Computers.
Midnight. 7 times out of 10, we listen to our music at night. Thus spawned the title of this program.
Late Night Delight with DJ Midas, right here on WMNH Manchester.
You wanna know why? Because I'm on the radio.
Saturdays and Sunday nights, midnight to 4 a.m.
This hour on WMNH is sponsored by CGI Business Solutions, located at 5 Dartmouth Drive in Auburn. They serve all your business needs, including employee benefits planning, corporate design and business administration, investments and wealth management, and customized business insurance solutions. Their phone number is 866-841-4600 or on the web at cgibusinesssolutions.com.
Behold the harmony of airwaves as you immerse yourself in the captivating frequencies of WMNHLP, the sonic heartbeat of Manchester, transcending through the ether at 95.3 megahertz frequency modulation. Our transmissions emanate from the zenith of 1000 Elm Street. Venture into the heart of our creative realm at 119 Canal Street, where innovation and sound collide. We bear the imprimatur of Manchester Public Television Service in the venerable city of Manchester, New Hampshire, USA. Enrich your auditory journey with the depth of our licensed resonance. Dispatch your missives to WMNH953@gmail.com or traverse the virtual corridors of WMNHradio.org. Engage with our sonic vibrations by communing with us through the digital channels. Your radio beckons, eager to enthrall you with its mesmerizing cadence and envelop you in a symphony of boundless auditory wonder.
WMNH, rip the knob off.
The prettiest eyes I've ever seen. Oh, your lips don't move, it's when you blink. You show me what you mean. And I would do anything just say it's true, so just breathe, look at me, I love you. Had a dream we were dancing all night. Oh, I never danced a waltz before, but with you my feet move right. And I would do anything to just say it's true. So just breathe, look at me, I love you. And as you fall asleep, I count the sheep that's playing through your mind. And I watch your flaws hanging off your jaws and the feelings that you hide. Oh, your golden hair swinging in the air as the quiet wind subsides. In your loneliness, I'm your only and you're mine. see what they say, you and I. Oh, the melodies I wrote before have you between the lines. And I would do anything to just say I do. So just breathe, look at me, I love you. So just breathe, look at me, I love
you. What a beautiful song. That is called Stacy. And we have the writer and composer and singer and guitarist and from Temple Mountain is here with us live in studio. Let me get that mic up. Hello, Eric.
Hey, how we doing?
Let's see.
How do I sound?
Good. I'm just boosting that volume a little bit.
Heard.
Eric's going to play live for us this morning, so I want to make sure we can hear you. Okay, I think we're good. Yeah, congratulations. That just came out, Stacy.
Yeah, it's Stacy's song. It's been out since today, and yeah, it's the series of probably several singles that are going to be coming out in the near future. So I have like at least 7 or 8 more.
Okay.
Yeah.
So has this been played on the radio before today?
Nope.
Oh,
first
so
time.
World radio premiere.
World
we
radio
love it.
premiere. Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. So when you say it's out today, so it's on all the streaming platforms?
All digital platforms, yeah. And then I have an official video that Hannah B Photography and I filmed together that I'm going to be releasing soon too.
Very good. Yeah. Like how soon? Like within the next couple of weeks?
You would think with someone who's passionate, they would have a date set, but I haven't. I haven't put the. We kind of created that video so extemporaneously and very last minute, so it's done and it's ready. I could release it now, but I don't know when I want to do it.
Right. No, it makes sense. Yeah, you want to wait till the time is right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And so you said, so you're releasing a series of singles?
Yeah, I'm doing. You ever heard the waterfall effect?
Yes.
Yeah. So
I've heard the term.
I don't really want to do it because I don't like the idea of it, but it seems to everyone's just telling me to do it. So I'm like, why don't I do it this time around? And then the next album I can do it the way I want to do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm releasing probably every other month. I'm going to release a song.
Actually, I'm going to ask you to get a little closer to that mic. I thought
Yeah.
that was a good distance, but yeah. So your previous, because you have the album Schema, which we've played songs
Yeah.
from before. So, but this time, so will the singles that you're releasing, will they eventually coalesce
Yes.
into an album?
Yeah, actually, it's going to release. The album's going to be called Case Studies, and you had the artist who did the artwork for it on the show, Kira Curtis.
Oh yes, that's right. We
Yeah.
talked about that. Yeah.
She did the final album artwork, and then for all the singles, I want to get local artists to kind of create the what would you call it, the Spotify single template for it.
Yeah.
So,
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Are these so Schema obviously kind of has a theme?
Yeah. No, I took that out this time.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sure it's in there because I think in that kind of way, but in terms of titles and overall concept, I just wanted to kind of reign free. I put a lot of restrictions on Schema, like there's only, you play guitar, correct?
Yeah.
So there's only like certain shapes that I restricted myself to create songs with. Or this time around, I was like, let me experiment more with harmony and let me experiment more with I just wanted it to be completely. And I even went to like a studio this time around to like record them in Acton, Massachusetts. So I just wanted to try something new.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
That's where Stacey was recorded?
Yeah, and Wellspring Sounds. Yeah,
Okay.
Josh is awesome. I love the guy.
Now, how did you connect with him, and why did you decide to work with him?
I was looking at places that offered tape recording because why not? And they don't do that, but they came up and I saw their rates and I was like, that's affordable.
So you were looking for, so when you say tape recording, so you were looking for that.
I was looking for like reel to reel.
That analog. Wow.
Yeah. And it's possible. It's just, then I get really in my head about these things. It's like, would that be a cliche? Would that be a little bit of a gimmick? And so then I found them and I was like, why don't I just give this a try? And Josh, what's cool is I'm a big Elliott Smith fan.
Yeah.
And they have the original microphones that Elliott Smith used on his Lucky 3 documentary, which is like the mic. It's a Newman something. I forget what they're called, but
okay.
So I got to record the whole album with those microphones. So
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It meant a lot to me.
That's awesome. Yeah. I am curious. Were you able to find? I assume not in the area. Were you able to find a studio that does reel to reel when you were looking online?
Yeah. Absolutely. And I had a friend, my friend Josh. He actually has like a 4-track cassette recorder.
Oh, no kidding.
And I was thinking about doing something like that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's so funny because I was just thinking about this. I kind of want to make an album, and I know saying this live on the air, like it's silly, but I want to create an album where I just record right on my iPhone. Because to me, the iPhone voice memo app seems to be like the new lo-fi.
Oh.
And I would like, what can I do with that? And maybe I could do something kind of Nick Drake like, and like do a lot of finger picking and vocal intimate stuff. And like, it won't sound like high professional, but that's the point. You know?
Right. Yeah, you like that lo-fi sound.
I love when it sounds like you're there. When it's not like, I love the room noise. I everything about that. Yeah, I love the mistakes.
Yeah. How did I know we talked about this before, but how was Schema recorded?
In my farmhouse, just with like a simple microphone and a Logic Pro and a laptop that couldn't handle Logic Pro.
Yeah.
And then I just kind of figured it out. I mixed it myself, so I just did it by ear. Like I don't really know how to do compression or mix, EQ, and it shows. But I'm really happy. I'm really proud of that album. Every time I listen to it, I'm always like, oh, I still like this.
Yeah.
Which
that's good.
That hasn't happened before. Yeah.
Really? Yeah. Have you been self-critical in the past of some of your
pre-Prozac?
recording?
Yeah.
Really? Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. You want to play something live for us?
Sure. Could I play an Elliott Smith song? Actually,
you can play anything you'd like.
All right. This is an Elliott Smith song. It's called Angelus.
All right.
Someone's always coming around here, trailing some new kill. Says I seen your picture on a $100 bill. We'll take aim of chance to you in this one of real skill. So glad to meet you, Angelus. Picking up the ticket shows there's money to be made. Go on, lose that gamble, that's the history of the trade. Did you add up all the cards left to play? To zero, sign up with evil Angelus. Don't start me trying now. Cause I'm all over it, Angelus. I can make you satisfied with everything you do. All your secret wishes could right now come back to you. Be forever with my poison arms around you. No one's gonna fool around with us. No one's gonna fool around with us. So glad to meet you, Angelus.
Very cool. I like it. I like it. What's that called?
Angelus by Elliott Smith.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
I like it. I don't think I've ever heard that before.
That's beautiful.
I mean, I've always been aware of Elliott Smith and somewhat familiar, but I don't. I don't know that song. But no, I really like it. I
He's
really
my hero.
Is he? Yeah.
Yeah,
What is it about him? Is it his? I mean, that's a great song. Is it his songwriting?
Yes, it's definitely the songwriting. When I was in my senior year of high school, this really cool guy did a English project, and we had to choose a song and like talk about how it has symbolic meaning. And he did a song called "Between the Bars."
Okay.
And then I just watched it, and it was like everything I wanted to be.
Yeah.
And then that night, it's so funny because it was just coincidence. I watched Good Will Hunting, and he did the music for Good Will Hunting.
Oh, okay.
And I was listening to it. I was like, wow, this is really good. Who is it? And I looked it up. It was Elliott Smith. And it actually is the reason I got into psychology, that movie. So,
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
So he just, I don't know, his playing blows my mind. His songwriting, his voice blows mine. And it's just, I love it.
Yeah. I don't remember if we talked about this before, but so Good Will Hunting is what inspired you to get into psychology?
Yeah, there's a great scene in that movie where Robin Williams is talking to Matt Damon about laying bricks, and Matt Damon's like making the argument like, why are we looking at laying bricks like it's a bad job? That's a noble job. There's honor in that. And it like blew my mind hearing that for the first time, and seeing then Matt have a kind of breakthrough. It was like, I want to experience that in my lifetime.
Oh,
So,
interesting. Yeah. If this sounds familiar to you, then we did talk about this before, but
no, you're fine.
My dad has told me that people have told him that the Robin Williams character reminds them of him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
But
you're a hypnotist, correct?
Yes.
Do you find that because hypnotism can create incredible change in a person, is there like a breakthrough moment, would you say? Like, can a person realize I don't like using the word cured, but when they realize that a problem can maybe get diminished or fixed.
Yeah.
Do you experience that yourself, or is it more outside the office where they notice that?
I'll tell you this. It's a great question because sometimes during a session, at the end of it, they're different. Like, not everybody, but sometimes they are.
Yeah.
Like, I can see the subtle differences, even in just how they like their facial expressions.
Yeah.
Like, they exude a confidence,
right,
and a sense of empowerment that clearly was not there before the session.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it is. I do love that. I get such a rush for that's. I like to think I have certain skill sets. I'm good at something. I think I'm okay at hosting a talk show. I'm good at this. I'm good at that. The one thing I really love is hypnotherapy.
Really?
Yeah.
What's cool about hypnotherapy too is, and people don't talk about this, but hypnotherapy is the reason why psychoanalysis and therapy exists, because Freud saw hypnotherapy and was fascinated by it.
Yeah.
So like, it's such an important part of mental health that we don't talk about a lot.
Yeah.
It's diminished a little bit. It's coming back and it's diminished. It goes in waves. Sometimes it's used as a party trick, and it's like, it's not just that.
Right.
It's a form of behavioral therapy.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. No, I love helping people with it. I do a visualization while they're in a state of hypnosis where I have them imagine the ideal version of themselves.
Yeah.
The version of themselves that they most want to be.
Oh, wow.
And people seem to really get a lot out of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so you are you where are you in your career with psychology?
Psychology?
Yeah.
I'm in my third semester of grad school.
Excellent.
I'm actually in my counseling skills class that I adore. I've been a case manager since the beginning, but I'm really looking forward to internship. I love case management, but I'm really looking forward to internship because I want to be in the office and just reading up on Yalom and reading up on Carl Rogers. I think the therapy that I'm interested in the most is Rogerian therapy and like existential therapy. Mm-hmm. So I'm still trying to, and a little bit of solution focus. There's some that's in there, but I got about another year and a half until that's like part of my life.
Yeah. Cool. Very exciting.
Counting down the days.
That's excellent. Do you think your music will change when you get to that point?
How so? Like
I don't know. Like, do you think, because obviously, you have these things in mind, like with Schema, you have these things in mind as you're writing these songs. I mean, do you think it'll change your perspective at all in terms of how you actually approach your music?
I think where I get my most happiness from is playing live. And I mean, I've been busy with the music stuff, and it's been like 2-3 hour shows playing at bars, playing like, Can't Help Falling in Love with You by Elvis or Hey Jude by the Beatles.
Yeah.
And I find a lot of catharsis in that, and I think the image that I'm kind of portraying right in front of you right now is kind of what I want to continue doing.
Yeah.
I don't see. At one point, I was thinking about, do I want a band or not? And that's like, that sounds so expensive. So
right.
So
in a lot of ways.
Yeah. I think I want to find a healthy balance, like, and it sounds silly, but almost like the Batman thing. By day, I see patients and I see clients, and I help the best I can, and I grow and build relationships. And at night, I play music and I grow and build relationships. So that's, and then somewhere in between that, also I'm a happy husband and father. So to me, that sounds like the ideal life for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think people overlook the benefit, the psychological benefits of music? Like, do you think it's funny because I've never really thought about it before from this angle, but as we're talking, it occurs to me, like, music in and of itself is such great therapy. Even just listening to it, it can really affect how you feel. And but sometimes I wonder if people don't. I mean, a lot of people do, even if they just don't realize it necessarily consciously. But I think music itself is kind of overlooked in that it can so much influence how we feel about ourselves, but it can also be sabotaging, I feel, too. So,
exactly.
Something I've never understood about people is why. I mean, I do get it, but it's not my instinct to do this. When someone is sad and they want to listen to sad songs because they feel sad, and I've always been from when I was a little kid, if I'm sad, the last thing I want to do is listen to sad music. I want to listen to something that's going to change my state of mind.
I think the thing that is actually maybe not, maybe I'm getting a tangential, but the thing that's more interesting to me is music you can develop an identity with. If there's a banana across the room, I'm not going to have an identity with that banana. I'm not going to go like, oh yeah, that's my favorite type of banana. It's from New Zealand or something like that. I don't know if New Zealand grows bananas, but with music, it can get really etiolating because there can be times where I've had moments where music is my best friend on certain days, and there's certain days where it's just like, oh my God, I've listened to Room for Squares by John Mayer nonstop for a week, and then I have an identity crisis.
Yeah.
So that part doesn't get talked about enough, where especially if you're into the arts and you pursue the arts, you have moments of imposter syndrome and identity crisis. And yes, music can be your best friend at the end of the day. And I think Smells Like Teen Spirit is one of the greatest songs of all time. But after listening to it 2,000 times, when I listen to it now, it's like, I know what happens on second 45. I can't listen to that song anymore, Yeah. So it's a balance. And I'm always trying. The other hard thing I want to say is discovering new music for me is really difficult. I try really hard. I look for stuff, and it's just, there's something going on where my brain's like, nah, keep going. And when I do find something new, like right now it's been hip hop, I'm like obsessed with just like we were talking about before the show, making like beat making and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's fine. It's like, finally, here's that energetic high I've been looking for.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's interesting. So you have a hard time though finding new music that you like?
Especially with acoustic music, because usually when people recommend me acoustic stuff, that it would make sense that I should like it, but it just doesn't hit me. Like a good example is Bon Iver, very talented musician. People who love Bon Iver, you have great taste. I'm not here to try and question that. And then when it comes to my ears and I process it, it's like, this isn't for me. It's just not hitting it. Maybe the problem is I don't actually know what I want. Yeah. I don't actually have my taste well defined yet in my head.
Well, is it also possible that the production is bothering you? Because
1,000%.
Because you're a lo-fi guy.
Yeah. But I love Smells Like Teen Spirit, which is the exact opposite of that. So it's like, it depends on the context of the music itself.
But even Smells Like Teen Spirit, the production is different than now everything is so compressed.
Yes. Yeah.
The only people I feel who really get it right is I'm not a big country guy, but I got to say, from a production standpoint, Nashville has it down.
Oh, yeah.
The drums always sound great.
But this is where it sounds like I almost don't want to come across as like a double, like I'm here, I am making double standards. But like, for example, like my friend sent me a song by an artist called Dare. The song's called Girls. Don't play it. It's very raunchy. I love that song.
Yeah.
Like, it's awesome. I love when that stuff is incorporated into like dance music and stuff like that. It's like, yes.
Yeah.
But when it's incorporated into like the acoustic guitar, when I hear an acoustic guitar, especially like maybe controversial, but when I hear a guitar that has like elixir strings on it, for those who know what elixir strings are, they're coated strings. It's like an immediate turnoff for my ears.
Really?
Yeah, I don't like it. It sounds too clean.
Yeah.
I want to make it clear, like, I don't think that this should be the standard for anyone by any
Right, of
means.
course,
Like,
yeah.
because I'm not the best guitar player of all time. I'm not the best songwriter of all time. I'm not. It's nothing like that. It's just for what I look for to help me grow as a musician. I put these kind of things on a pedestal.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. If you are just joining us, Temple Mountain is here with us live in studio. And you want to play another one?
Sure. I'll actually play, because you played Stacy's song earlier, I'll play the next single I'm probably going to release after that.
Oh, cool.
And I'm probably going to mess it up, so that's okay.
That's all right.
Because we're only live.
It's an original, and we won't know. Very good.
It's called Grateful.
All right.
Choice of colors so profound, different shades of black and gray. And you say the world is round, but that's seen in different ways. And I noticed you're holding me so tight, with a breath that is only one way. Oh, it's alright to say that I need you, so grateful to met you this way. Waiting for the moon to bloom and watch the way the stars dictate. My heart is only set on you, so now I thank you for today. And remember, you told me to hold tight, for the world can be different each day. Oh, it's alright to say that I need you, so grateful to met you this way. Stand behind again, backs are facing in, with voices all around, but we never made a sound. Know your story's so profound, now you choose to live each day, and it's never up or down. There's not a side that leans your way. And remember, you told me to hold tight, for the world has asked you to say. Oh, it's alright to say that I need you, so grateful to met you this way. Oh, it's alright to say that I need you, so grateful to met you today.
Beautiful, beautiful. Temple Mountain live in studio with us. So that's going to be the next single?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, probably in like December.
Very good, very good. Is it difficult to choose what to go with next? Because obviously you've written a lot of songs.
Yeah. Yes and no. I just kind of do it, but I don't put too much thought into it. Like this sounds silly, but like I know social media is important. I even think you were just talking about that with the last artist, how important it is or maybe that was yesterday. The social media is just so important to do as an artist, but I just don't see it as important. You know, if I wanted to, I can pay $20 and get like 50 fake likes on my Facebook account, you know?
Right.
So like, it's artificial. Like, it's all controlled. Like, it's not the same as when I go live and I play a song with someone and connect with them and they come up to me after the show and say, hey, that was really cool. Even if it's just one person, that means way more to me. So
yeah,
I don't put too much thought. I do allow the releasing and stuff like that just so I can get gigs.
Yeah. No, it makes sense. Jenny was just reminding me too online. Do you teach as
No.
well? Oh, you don't?
Teach
Okay.
music?
Yeah, I think that's what she meant.
No,
Oh, okay.
I'm not much of a
She's
teacher, unfortunately.
Thinking of somebody else, yeah. Now, you did mention earlier sometimes you think about, playing in a band or getting a band
Yeah.
together. I mean, how seriously do you think about that? Is it possible in the future, or is it something that you kind of dismiss when it pops into your head? Or?
I got a Telecaster recently, so
yeah,
a Telecaster and a jazz chorus amp because I really like the sound of it.
Okay.
I think about it. It's just I don't know. I don't know how to do it. I don't think I would want to search for it. Like I would if it happens naturally.
Right.
That's how I'd be down for it because I don't want to have like Temple Mountain and I control the music and everything like that. It would be cool if it was something like Queen, where it's like I write songs, the bass player writes songs, the drummer writes songs, and we just appreciate each other's songwriting all together, and we could all sing. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you in a band before?
Growing up, I was in a death metal band.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
No kidding.
Called Distorted Anatomy.
Wow.
In New York, but we didn't do anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I was Eric Phillip in New York City. And then, because that's my middle name.
Okay.
And that just didn't go very well. And then this has been really taking off. It's been crazy.
And tell us again, how did you become Temple Mountain?
Well, I live in Peterborough, which is right off, and I live off of Temple Mountain. And then, when you're studying to be a licensed therapist, you learn a lot about both boundaries and confidentiality. And I think it's important that, I want to keep this life separate. So it's like I said earlier, it's kind of like my Batman.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. That makes sense. And by the way, are you married now?
No, not yet.
Oh, not yet.
No, it's
You're
getting there.
Still
It's getting
engaged.
there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
Can't wait.
Very good. Is Stacey's song? Is that about your?
It is.
Your girl. Yeah. Excellent. I think she was in the chat room last time you were on with us.
Yeah, she works for Kobe Sawyer, and today is homecoming. So she had to leave work today at like 6 a.m. She's doing a lot of stuff. So yeah, we're not going to be seeing each other until tomorrow.
Oh,
so probably not in the chat room today.
Gotcha.
And if she is, then Kobe Sawyer should think about that because she's not doing her job.
Well, do you want to? We got time. You want to play another one for us?
Sure.
If you are just joining us, Temple Mountain is here with us live in studio. And we should tell people, too, last night you were on Granite State of Mind with Rob Azevedo.
Yeah.
So if you want to check that out, too, that is, of course, up on the site, wmnhradio.org.
Shout out to Rob.
Yeah. Rob doing amazing things. You've played at Pembroke City Limits.
Yeah, I played the Nirvana night there.
Did you?
Yeah, it was incredible.
What song did you do?
Oh. Oh my God. I think I played I'm on a Plane.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I did that, and then I played Something in the Way. So what happened was I went in there going to play Something in the Way, and then like the day before, he asked me if I could play, I think it was I'm on a Plane.
Oh.
And I was just like, yeah, okay. And so I had to kind of figure it out.
Yeah.
And I remember I drove there like 2 hours early. I learned the song like 2 hours before the show. And
no kidding.
Yeah, I was so nervous, and like it kept blanking because I kept going through the lyrics in my head. And then once you're on stage, something just kind of happens.
Yeah.
And it all comes back to you.
Yeah.
So I got lucky. It was a good time. And I met so many cool people that night. That was the best part about that show.
No kidding.
Yeah, because here you just playing bar gigs. You're always by yourself. You don't get to really see other artists because you're always overlapping. Rob did something great where he got all these people coming together.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. For those who don't know what we're talking about, so it was a show where everybody played just one, right? Just one Nirvana song?
One to two.
One to two, yeah. Do you know how many performers there were that night total?
It must have been close to 7 or 8.
No kidding. Yeah.
I met Ben. Do you know Ben Harris?
No. I heard him on Rob's show a couple weeks ago. Yeah. So
such a nice guy. So we met. We were speaking online already, and then we met from the show, and then he invited me to play at Panucci's Concord. So like, we need more shows like that. Is my point. It's a great artists like to help artists. So I really appreciate Rob for doing that.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. Yeah, check out Pembroke City Limits if you haven't been there. It's a great place, and Rob's doing great things there. And All right, you were going to play, and I totally derailed you.
No, you're fine.
But Temple Mountain is here with us live in studio, and what are you going to play for us?
This is a song off Schema. It's called Stages of Attachment, and with a name like that, you would never guess, but it's about my cat.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right, very good.
So, let's see.
You try to wake me up, assuming I should rise. So pull my blanket up and stay here for a while. How a world just fell for you and the simple life you like. You could break all the rules, we'll love you all the time. You're just a little thing, sheltered by these walls. The seas light through golden eyes, little ginger paws. You're just a little thing, your heart is pure and true. Bringing love to all you meet and everything you do. I remember the day, an autumn morning drive. 7 were in the room, and you with the sick guy. How your world just came to me, and a family did rise. Heading home, you fell asleep without a pout or cry. You're just a little thing, you're sheltered by these walls. Seas light through golden eyes, little ginger paws. You're just a little thing, your heart is pure and true. Bringing love to all you meet and everything you do. And when I get home, it's hello, not goodbye. And when I leave tomorrow, you'll always try and cry. Woke your sister up, assuming she would play. But you know when she's fed up with all your silly games, and the world around you now, how it makes me wanna cry. But you know I'll never frown as you lay by my side. You're just a little thing, sheltered by these walls. You see his life through golden eyes, little ginger paws. You're just a little thing, your heart is pure and true. Bringing love to all you meet and everything you do. Bringing love to all you meet and everything you do.
Very cool.
Thank you.
What's that called?
Stages of Attachment.
Stages of Attachment. Yes, yes. Jenny and I have 2 cats, and we love them very much. So I find that song very relatable.
Ah, appreciate that. Yeah. You don't? Do you know Dylan Patrick Ward? Does that name sound familiar?
Sounds familiar.
He's a local songwriter from Vermont. He has a song called The Cats Song, and when I heard it, I was like, "Oh, you can write about your cats." So that was the inspiration.
We had recently, well, a couple months ago, we had the band Turbo Cats on.
I played with them.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I played them with that show at Terminus.
Oh, right,
they are
right.
so funny.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, they cracked like in a great way. Like they're awesome, and it was just like they were so serious. They're like, this next song's called "Licking Your Leg" or something like that. It was just it was brilliant.
They have that song, "My Senior Lady Cat," which because we have a female cat that's getting up there, so we could relate to that.
It's really trendy right now to sing about your cat.
Yeah, I think it's a great thing. Some people really don't like cats, and
yeah, I don't get that.
I think those people have some sort of psychological issue.
Yeah,
Who could not love cats?
Well, just how can you not love any animal?
Right.
Besides a wasp, because they hurt.
Well, that's not an animal, right? That's an insect.
Yeah, is an insect not an animal or?
See, I don't think so. but then we were talking about this on a Friday night on.
Is cereal a soup?
I'm a co-host on Retro Spectrum Radio with Paulie C, and Paul was saying that ants actually technically are animals, not insects, and it freaked me out.
Huh.
Because when I was a kid, my friends and I would light ants on fire in the summertime with a lighter, and now I feel terrible about it.
Yeah.
I didn't care when I thought they were insects.
You know, the size of their brains alone what the size of them as an animal is alone like enough to be like, wow, these are very impressive creatures.
Cats or
ants?
Oh,
Yeah, their
ants, really?
prefrontal cortexes are huge.
Really? Is that true?
Yeah.
See, now I feel really bad.
Yeah.
Wow.
How old were you?
Oh, I was probably like 10.
Oh yeah, time's passed. You're fine.
Yeah. I mean, I
You've
would
probably done way worse since then.
Oh, definitely. Oh, yeah. You have no idea. Of course. If you are just joining us on this Saturday morning, Temple Mountain is here with us live in studio. Are you playing a lot? You playing pretty consistently?
Yeah, I have a show later today, and then this month I was playing a lot. September I played probably like close to 20 shows.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, next month I have probably, I think I'm at 15 right now. I'm trying to get more. So yeah, it's going to taper down by the new year, but it's slowly growing back. And yeah, 2 weeks ago I played three-hour shows in one day, and
wow,
that was an incredible accomplishment on my end that I was really proud of. And I always wanted to, because Billy Sheehan of the band Talus said that he once did 3 shows in one day. I was like, I could do that.
Yeah.
So it was a nice kind of
But
catharsis.
3-hour shows. Damn.
Yeah, I couldn't sing for a little bit after that one, but I had a great time.
How did that even happen? Like, how did you end up?
It's my own stupidity. I just keep saying yes.
Yeah.
And then I'll be like, so that was a crazy day too, because I had to go. My first gig was in Wares Beach, and then I had to drive to Manchester to play at Great North, and then I had to go to Foundry and play at Foundry. So, and Great North was such a shout out to Jesse, by the way, for that gig.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I brought that up, because I want to apologize to Jesse, because Jesse asked me to like check if my songs were gonna be a part of BMI or something like that. I just didn't have time. So he did it for me.
Yeah.
And it was very nice of him. But like, I had to change my whole set list around, and it turned out it was a great show. But it was so funny. I was like, so I was going to play like Dave Matthews. Like, you can't play Dave Matthews.
Oh, yeah.
That was such a great gig, though. I loved that place.
Yeah.
And the beer was amazing.
Yes. Yeah, Jenny and I stopped in there recently because it was Jesse's birthday. And,
happy birthday.
She's a proud mama.
Yeah.
So, and he's been on the show a bunch of times too. He's sounding really good.
Wicked talented.
Really good. Absolutely. But that's not something you usually run into, though, right? At a venue where they, because of the music rights, where that kind of gets in. I mean, have you run into that before?
I did not when I was playing music. I used to be a butcher, and they took the music there very seriously because they were worried. I get it.
Yeah.
Like, it's not the venue's fault or anything like that. It's just the way the music industry works is you gotta be careful.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I kind of like when stuff like that happens. Like, if you have like a 2-hour set or 3-hour set, and then all of a sudden you have to remove 20 songs and figure it out, like, it's kind of fun.
It's a challenge.
I love it.
Yeah. That's good. That's good. Good attitude to have about it. Certainly. Yeah. I've just over the years, I've heard stories of like BMI and ASCAP. Like, actually, it sounds like you wouldn't think it would really happen, but like sending undercover agents. Into places to see if they're.
I remember when piracy was big, and like there was like those stories of kids getting like sued because they downloaded the Titanic, and that actually happened.
Yep.
They get sued for lots of money. It's like, these are kids.
Oh yeah. It's wild. Yeah, and there used to be years ago there was a place in Concord called the Cafe Eclipse, and they got into some kind of trouble, and they just.
That's a great name.
Yeah. It was a cool place. I played there a lot back in the day, but they had to make a rule, just no covers, because they had gotten in trouble and they'd been threatened by, I don't know if it was ASCAP, BMI, or it might have been CSAC, because I remember the guy telling me, and I was like, oh, that's one I'm not familiar with.
I believe I'm playing a gig in March. It's a place that I've been wanting to get. It's hard to get the gig. It's like a 2-year out gig. It's called Stage 33. It's in Bellow Falls, Vermont.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's part of the rules is I can't play any covers because they don't have any licensing agreement. So it's all going to be originals for like it's like a 40-minute set of original, which is fine. I'm happy to do that.
Yeah.
If anything, it's refreshing.
Yeah.
You know, there's not many listening rooms. It's not a fault of New Hampshire, but it's the hardest thing in New Hampshire is there's not many listening rooms.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. No, I agree. When you play covers, do you mix in any originals? Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta. And they usually people want to hear it too.
Mhm.
And my covers vary. Like I play John Mayer, Dave Matthews, sure, but I also play Britney Spears. I play. I do. Wow, that was almost very braggadocious. I do a cover of "Cake by the Ocean" that I really like. I do things that I want to hear.
Yeah.
I want to listen to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just so. Then if you incorporate those, and I base my set list on where I have to place the capo.
Oh,
if that makes sense.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's like if I do all my like second fret capo songs together, so it helps with tuning stability.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I incorporate my originals.
Yeah.
In conclusion.
Yeah. Well, I'd imagine too some of the covers you do, like that Elliott Smith song, I didn't recognize. I'm sure. Have you ever had anyone come up to you and say, "Hey, I really like that song," and they have no idea that it's not an original? Does that happen?
The only covers I would say that I do that people don't recognize are Elliott Smith, and
Really?
I have which saddens me. But I do them as like a kind of way of saying thank you to Elliott. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, usually people pick up on things like it's crazy. You know, people wonder why like. Some people will be like, I'll never play Hey Jude because it's such a cliche. But you play it at a bar, you're going to get a reaction that's going to give you such an endorphin rush. It's incredible. The dopamine high you get from playing Hey Jude live. I recommend it to everyone. Play Hey Jude live.
No kidding.
Yeah, and play The Boxer by Simon & Garfunkel
Oh,
live.
yeah.
That's a great one. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite cover? Is there one that you especially
that I look forward to?
Yeah.
I play Neon by John Mayer.
Yeah.
And that's a bit of a flex. And that seems to be getting me some attention, so I like playing that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's been fun. I also like playing Your Body is a Wonderland a lot.
Do you? Yeah.
I love that song. Yeah. And I also love playing Can't Help Falling in Love with You.
Yeah.
By Elvis a lot. That's a great song. Yeah.
I would imagine that goes over pretty well. I can see how it would.
Just watching, I've seen like moms bring their little kids on stage to dance or up the front to dance.
Oh,
and
no
it just
kidding.
makes me
Yeah.
so happy. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's very cool. Very cool. Have you ever played any covers that you had to ditch because they weren't going over well, or?
That's a good question. Yeah, definitely. I tried doing Party Rock by LMFAO. That didn't work. I still do it sometimes, but there's a line in it. It's like half black, half white domino. And like once I sung it out loud, I was like, oh yeah, I'm a cis white male. So there was that. And then there was also, there's a song called Issues. Like I got issues, you got them too. I don't know who actually does the song, but it just didn't translate well to acoustic. But I'm working on a version. You know the song "I Will Survive"?
Mm-hmm.
I'm working on that at the moment. That's like my latest thing. I'm really excited. I think I want to actually like put it on the album. Like,
Yeah.
I always wanted to have a song like a cover song on the album.
Oh, okay.
So I might do that.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, no, I think that would be pretty cool. Now the singles that you're releasing, are these all being recorded at the same studio, or
Yeah. I'll go in there and we'll spend like 3 hours, record like 3 songs because they're just double tracked. They're very simple. It's still, what I like is it's not lo-fi, but it's like just the next step up.
Yeah.
And I just want to keep polishing it up, keep polishing the turd, if you will, and, until it's maybe where people would consider it acceptable or something like that.
Right. Well, I look forward to hearing the next one when it's ready.
Thank you.
Sure. That's for sure. Let's see. You want to play one more?
Sure.
If you're just joining us, we have Temple Mountain here with us live in studio on this Saturday morning. We do have Dead by Wednesday in the third hour, although they might be a little late. We were talking. I think it was off air. We were talking about how they're coming up from Connecticut.
Yeah.
And apparently, Jenny messaged me and said they had a little bit of a delay because of the Hartford Marathon, which I didn't know was happening today. But I can see how that would happen.
Here's a random question: what are your thoughts on? Do you know about New Haven's clam pizza?
No, but I'm horrified.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
As someone from New York, it's just like there's no way that works.
Clam pizza. I have a rule because pizza's my favorite food, and
oh really?
And if somebody asks me, Matt, why you say certain types of pizza are gross and other types are good, here's how. This is what I tell people: if you want your pizza to be delicious, you should only choose delicious toppings.
Mm-hmm.
If you choose disgusting toppings, your pizza will be disgusting, and that's all you have to know.
Now, with that said, pizza's hard to come around here. There's good pizza, and there's. Sorry, New Hampshire. There's not. If you're from New York, you're not gonna love the pizza.
Right.
Have you been to Grappelli's in Peterborough?
No.
Oh, they're good.
Really?
Yeah.
Grappelli's?
They're only getting better too. Yeah, they are very traditional, like New York style slices, and they sell slices by the singles, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Well,
shout out to Grappelli's.
You being from New York, you wouldn't say that if it wasn't true. So
now, is it New York pizza? No, but there's something in the water. So
it's the closest you're going to find in the state, probably.
So far, yeah. I've heard people have told me about Tilton's House of Pizza, and I need to check it out. Apparently, I've had good pizza. I kind of like bad pizza too. I just love pizza.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Yeah. It doesn't have to be great.
Exactly. I love Cumby's Farms pizza. Makes me happy.
Does it?
And
yeah.
I'm sure I'm gonna get a lot of hate for that, but
7-Eleven pizza isn't bad when it's fresh, but it has to be fresh.
Oh yeah.
Because once it turns, it turns.
Oh yeah.
I fell into a habit of eating. I don't eat 7-Eleven pizza anymore, but I fell into a habit of eating it. But it had to be like within the last 5 minutes, it had to have been put there.
Yeah, otherwise something happens to the cheese.
At minute 6, it turns into something horrible.
And I'm not stupid. I know it's not real. I know it's not real. Yeah. I know that. That's not real bread. That's not real sauce.
Right.
That's not a tomato.
Right. Making me hungry. All right, Temple Mountain is here with us live in studio, and what are you going to play for us?
I'm going to play a John Mayer song, if that's okay with
you.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I'll play Your Body's a Wonderland, because it makes me happy.
All right, very good.
Got this room for two. One thing that's left to do. Discover me, discovering you. 1 mile to every inch of your skin like porcelain. One pair of candy lips and your bubblegum tongue. If you want love, we'll make it. Swim in a deep sea of blankets. Take all your big plans and break them. This is bound to be a while. Your body is a wonderland. Your body is a wonder, I'll use my hands. Your body is a wonderland. Something about the way the hair falls in your face. I love the shape you take when crawling towards the pillowcase. You tell me where to go, and though I might lead to find it, never let your head hit the bed without my hand behind it. One love will make it. Swim in a deep sea of blankets. Take all your big plans and break them. This is bound to be a while. Your body is a wonderland. Your body is a wonder, I'll use my hands. Your body is a wonderland. Damn, baby, you frustrate me. I know you're mine, oh mine, oh mine. But you look so good it hurts sometimes. Body is wonderlands. Your body is a wonder, I'll use my hands. Your body is wonderland.
That's a long fade. Well, you know what's funny? I was thinking about this as you were playing it. I haven't heard, his version, the original version, in a long time. But speaking of fades, there's. I always thought it was kind of funny how the song kind of tricks you a little bit in that it sounds like it's over. There's a point where the song sounds like it's over. Where you know what I mean?
And then it goes to that like.
You know exactly what I mean, which is not because I've said this to other people and they don't know what I'm talking about. There's a point in the song where it's like if you haven't heard it before, you're sure the fade out is right there, and then it doesn't happen.
He does that actually a lot on Room Room Squares. There's a song called "My Stupid Mouth," and there's a part where it just ends, and then he goes, "One more thing." It's the best.
Yeah. I always liked "Clarity." That's a
that's
John
a
Mayer
great
song that I really like. Yeah, that's a good one. So we are approaching the top of the hour. What are you playing this weekend anywhere?
Yeah, I'm going to Campton, New Hampshire today to play at Mad River Coffee House.
Okay.
And then I'm playing this Thursday. I play at Kilkenny's in New Hampshire. And then I play in Francistown the following week. I don't know my whole schedule, but I'm all over the place. If you want to find out, www.templemountainmusic.com. I just updated the website too, so... Yeah.
Oh, very good. Very good.
Yeah.
You do all that yourself? The web
Yeah,
stuff? Yeah. Excellent. Yeah. No, it's a nice website.
Thank you.
I'm kind of a website nerd. I look at websites and judge them.
I don't know what I'm doing, so that means a lot to me.
Well, because a lot of our guests, I look at their websites and it's like, oh,
really?
No. They're like, I'll have a band on. It's like, oh, they're such a great band and their website is horrible.
If you make money at gigs, put money back into things. I paid for a graphic designer. Shout out to Emily Perry for designing my logo. And ever since that was like a game changer. Like I got so many gigs from that logo.
No kidding.
Yeah.
It's great that you say that though, because that demonstrates that sometimes even just tweaking one thing.
Oh yeah.
That most people might not think would make a difference. Sometimes just
email,
tweaking
pitch,
one
everything.
thing. Yeah,
and learning how to talk to people is so important.
Yes.
Don't. I have a real pet peeve when I hear I know we gotta go, but when I hear an artist almost say something condescending to a person.
Yeah.
It's just just be nice.
Right.
It's just do it.
Yeah. It's not hard.
It's not hard.
Doesn't cost anything.
No, it's not easy either sommes, but make it easy. Find a way.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And that's how you build relationships.
Exactly.
Absolutely. So you've got, and then are you pretty busy for the rest of the month too? When because I know you said you're starting to slow down, but is that in November?
I'm slowing down. I'm taking a little bit of a break just to focus on grad school. So I have 2 gigs left for October.
Okay.
Now.
Yeah.
And then I go into the studio on the 30th.
Okay.
And then November I start again. I think I have 10, 15 gigs or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. And then and Stacy, the new single, which we'll play again to close out the segment
thank
too,
you.
because this is out today on all the streaming platforms, and there's a video coming soon-ish.
Yeah, in a week.
Okay.
Yeah, it might. Yeah, I'll probably release it in a week.
All right. Excellent. Well, thank you, my friend. This is always wonderful to see you. I think this is your third time on the show?
Yeah, thank you for always having me. You guys, that's really sweet.
Absolutely. No, we love to have you on. And I'll remind people too, Eric was also on Rob's show, Granite State of Mind, so you can find that in the archive as well. And we will close out the segment once again with the brand new single out today. It is called Stacy by Temple Mountain. Thanks again.
Prettiest eyes I've ever seen. Oh, your lips don't move, it's when you blink. You show me do anything to just say it's true. So just breathe, look at me, I love you. Had a dream we were dancing all night. Oh, I never danced a waltz before, but with you my feet move right. And I would do anything to just say it's true. So just breathe, look at me, I love you. And as you fall asleep, I count the sheep that's playing through your mind. And I watch your flaws hanging off your jaws and the feelings that you hide. Oh, your golden hair swinging in the air as the quiet wind subsides. In your loneliness, I'm your only and you're mine. See what they say, you and I. Oh, the melodies I wrote before have you between the lines. And I would do anything to just say I do. So just breathe, look at me, I love you. So just breathe, look at me, I love you.
In times of crisis, you need a law firm that stands by your side. With over 40 years of experience, Craig & Getsoulis is dedicated to fighting for your rights. As former state prosecutors, our attorneys have the knowledge and trial experience to provide an aggressive defense against any charge, from DUIs to homicides. If you've been injured, our compassionate team will assess your case and fight for the compensation you deserve. Serving all of New Hampshire, Craig & Getsoulis is here when you need us most. Visit CraigGetZoulis.com or call 603-5551-234 for a free consultation. Craig & Getsoulis, your advocates, your allies.
Bring your kitchen to life with Queen City Cabinetry, located at 87 Elm Street in the historic Sunbeam Mall in Manchester. Open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. and Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. They can be reached at 603-222-2007 or on the web at queencitycabinetrynh.com. Come see the possibilities. Queen City Cabinetry, another proud sponsor of WMNH.
Diz's Cafe is the place to put a smile on your face. Judy and the crew will take care of you. Bring your appetite and treat your taste buds right. Diz's Cafe is always a winning choice. Breakfast, lunch, or supper. Diz's Cafe at 860 Elm Street in downtown Manchester. Dine in, take out, or make a reservation. Call 603-606-2532. Eat, drink, and be happy. Diz's Cafe.
When it comes to keeping WMNH on the air and your own personal or business computer needs, trust Groland Computers. Located on Elm Street in Manchester, Groland handles computer repair, virus removal, and custom-built systems. Are you looking for budget-friendly options? Check out our selection of fully inspected used computers. We offer tailored on-site solutions. No unnecessary expenses here. Visit Groland.com or call Groland Computers at 603-645-0101. Your tech, your way. Trust Groland Computers.
Midnight.
7 times out of 10, we listen to our music at night. Thus spawned the title of this program.
Late Night Delight with DJ Midas, right here on WMNH Manchester.
You wanna know why? Because I'm on the radio.
Saturdays and Sunday nights, midnight to 4 a.m.
This hour on WMNH is sponsored by CGI Business Solutions, located at 5 Dartmouth Drive in Auburn. They serve all your business needs, including employee benefits planning, corporate design and business administration, investments and wealth management, and customized business insurance solutions. Their phone number is 866-841-4600 or on the web at cgibusinesssolutions.com.
Behold the harmony of airwaves as you immerse yourself in the captivating frequencies of WMNHLP, the sonic heartbeat of Manchester, transcending through the ether at 95.3 megahertz frequency modulation. Our transmissions emanate from the zenith of 1000 Elm Street. Venture into the heart of our creative realm at 119 Canal Street, where innovation and sound collide. We bear the imprimatur of Manchester Public Television Service in the venerable city of Manchester, New Hampshire, USA. Enrich your auditory journey with the depth of our licensed residents. Dispatch your missives to WMNH953@gmail.com or traverse the virtual corridors of WMNHradio.org. Engage with our sonic vibrations by communing with us through the digital channels. Your radio beckons, eager to enthrall you with its mesmerizing cadence and envelop you in a symphony of boundless auditory wonder.
WMNH, rip the knob off.
I will be hearing those sounds in my nightmares. That's pretty epic, though. I love that. That track is called Fates Mirrored, and that is from the band Questing Beast. And we had Questing Beast on in the first hour today. We played some of their music and had a great conversation with Shane and Jane. And, of course, in the second hour, we had Temple Mountain here with us live in studio. A great conversation with him, and he played a bunch of songs live for us. This is Matt Connarton Unleashed, and we are live from the studios of WMNH 95.3 FM in glorious Manchester, New Hampshire. Today is Saturday, October 19, 2024. Welcome. If you are listening live on Saturday, so here's what's going on. We are supposed to have guests in the third hour, a couple of guys from the band Dead by Wednesday. They've got a brand new single, and I don't know exactly where they are in their trip here. My understanding is Jenny messaged me. They are on their way. The problem is they got stuck in I didn't know it was today, but the Hartford, they're from Connecticut. And apparently today is the Hartford Marathon. And that delayed them and set them back time-wise. So hopefully they're able to still get here. Jenny had said they're running 30 minutes behind. So that would put them here by 11:30 if that holds up. So hopefully we'll still be able to have them. Really looking forward to talking to these guys. I haven't seen any of the members of Dead by Wednesday in probably 15 years. It's been a long time. So we'll see what happens. I do want to, and whether they make it here or not, I will play the new single. It's not a world radio premiere. It has been on the radio apparently, but they did a cover of No Easy Way Out by Robert Tepper. I think that's the original artist name, Robert Tepper. From what movie is that from? It's one of the Rocky movies. It's not the first Rocky movie though. I forget which one it's from. Anyway, they did a cover of that. Ain't no easy way out. That song, and it's really good. I listened to it. They sent it to me to play on the show today, and I listened to it like 5 times in a row. I loved it so much. So very, very cool. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully they're able to get here. And we'll love to talk with them. We might only have a diminished segment with them. Unfortunately, it is a live show, and we end promptly at noon. But we'll see. We'll see. But but I'll play the track regardless. I mean, even if it looks like if it's close to the end of the show and they're not here, I'll go ahead and play it because I do want to share it with you. And like I said, I know they're trying to get here. So here we are. On this Saturday morning. Let me circle back to talking about Questing Beast, though, for a moment. And then I do have another subject we can use, a music industry topic, which is what we end up doing when, if something happens with a guest, if they're not able to get here or if there's a delay. We'll talk about something going on in the music industry because we know a lot of people in the industry listen to the show, and a lot of our listeners are musicians, and there's always interesting things happening in the music industry, that's for sure. But let me mention again, so big show tonight, big Halloween show at Terminus in Nashua, Terminus Underground in Nashua, New Hampshire. Questing Beast, let's see if I can do this from memory because it's a big show. There's a lot of bands. Questing Beast, Able Blood, The Grey Curtain, The Negans, Dead Harrison, of course, and who am I forgetting? I think I'm leaving somebody out. Horror. That's it. Yeah. Because last week, it was last week, right? It becomes a blur. Last week, we had 3 of the bands that are playing tonight on the show. It was fantastic. We had Horror and Able Blood. Love those guys. And The Grey Curtain. And so this week we had Questing Beast. But they're going to be opening the show tonight. Doors open at 5 p.m. It's a long show because it's a big show. Lots of bands. I believe it's $20 admission. So get there, 134 Haines Street in Nashua, New Hampshire, Terminus Underground. It's an amazing place. You should definitely check it out. By the way, as long as I'm talking about it, I'll just forgive me if this is a little self-indulgent, but Terminus Underground is, of course, part of the Midnight Creatives Collective in Nashua, a great place. And actually, Eleanor and Spelfie, I know, are going to be, they're booked to make a return appearance here on Matt Connarton Unleashed very soon. Last time they were here, Andre Dumont, of course, was with them as well. They're all from the Midnight Creatives Collective. And, of course, Andre plays in the band Dead Harrison. But they also have a business bar there. And for listeners who might not know this, I'm a certified hypnotherapist. I help people to quit smoking, lose weight, deal with phobias, all kinds of stuff. So the business bar at the Midnight Creatives Collective is now one of the places where I'm doing hypnotherapy. So you can actually book a session with me only on Mondays and Tuesdays in Nashua. But those are, and it's got to be in the morning, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., I think is what we decided for a time frame, because after 2 p.m., the building gets noisy. I mean, you can book other ways with me too. I also see clients at Birchwood Salon in Hooksett. You can do a virtual session with me online. I even do home visits. So there are many options. You can go to mattconnerton.com and learn more about that if you're interested in that. But I'm very happy to be a part of the Midnight Creatives Collective at the Business Bar every Monday and Tuesday. Like I said, book a session online or call me. Go to my website. All the information is there. All the information is there at mattconnerton.com. Okay, shameless plug. But no, but it is a great place, and they're doing great things there, and great for the community, not just the local community in the city of Nashua, but of course for the music scene. A lot of local talent there, also national touring acts. You know, when we had Green Jello or Green Jelly, I never know which to call them, on the show not too long ago. Jenny helped get that in motion, getting them booked at Terminus. So that was fantastic. So they're doing a lot of great things there. Let's see. So if you are just joining us, if you're looking for Dead by Wednesday, they have been delayed in traffic because of the Hartford Marathon. I'd say damn you, Hartford, but I can't because it's the city of my birth. I was actually born in Hartford, Connecticut. So anyway, let's do this. So I mentioned, you know, there's always things going on in the music industry that we can talk about. And I just realized where that buzzing was coming from. I apologize. There's always interesting things going on that we can talk about. And we always have something. I like to keep something kind of in my back pocket in case something like this happens with a guest, especially as we move into cold and flu season. These things will happen. There's a story involving the Pretenders, rock legends, the Pretenders. They've been around for decades and decades, of course. And there's a little bit of controversy around the band. Now, and by the way, it seems like these days, controversy in the music industry, it stems from, well, either AI-related issues, which is what we talk about a lot, or issues in terms of the live touring business. We've done a couple of segments on the Oasis tour and some of the issues around that. And then, of course, there's the Limp Bizkit lawsuit for $200 million against UMG, Universal Music Group. And I thought about maybe talking about that today. And maybe, you know, maybe we will if the guys from Dead by Wednesday don't get here. You know, maybe we'll go to that after we finish talking about this. But so the Pretenders, they have done something controversial, but it has nothing to do with ticket prices or the availability of tickets and all that goes wrong there. This is what's going on with the Pretenders, and I think this is interesting. And this is from, what website is this? AmericanSongwriter.com. And I don't know how far we'll get into this because the guys could arrive at any time. But the Pretenders are dividing fans over new live music policy. So here's what it says. With a decades-long career under their belt, the Pretenders are no strangers to the dynamics of live performances. But an October 2024 shakeup prompted by frontwoman Chrissie Hynde has left many wondering if she's lost touch with the proper relationship between fans and musicians. Hynde made her announcement ahead of the Pretenders' October 16 performance at Usher Hall in Edinburgh, Scotland. And in true online fashion, the internet seems wholly divided over whether Hynde's comments were just or unfounded. By the way, I intentionally avoided pre-reading this. So I'm learning about this with you if you're not already aware of it, because I want to give you my unvarnished, shall we say, gut reaction to this. So it says here, the Pretenders embarked on an almost exclusively sold-out tour of the UK in October. Stops include Oxford, Bristol, Portsmouth, and London, among other large cities. But just before the band made their way to Scotland's capital to perform at Usher Hall, Chrissie Hynde shared a message on social media that angered many fans. And here's what she said, quote, "First of all, thank you to everyone who's come to see our shows. We're in the home stretch of this year's tour, and it's been a real pleasure. fantastic cities and fantastic audiences. We've had a great time playing for you. One thing we feel obliged to explain, when we go on tour, the whole point is for the band, the whole point of it for the band is that we are playing to a different audience every night. That's why we go on tour. So if we're in Edinburgh, like we are tonight, we look forward to seeing local faces. This is what makes it new for us every night. We appreciate those of you who follow us and buy tickets for multiple nights. So please don't be offended if we request you to move out of the front row. All we are asking is that you give the local fans a chance. This is what keeps it new for us, especially after being on tour for so many months, unquote. Okay. Again, I did not pre-read this. I didn't know this is what this was about. My gut reaction, and by the way, I'll open the phone line too. If you have a reaction to this, 603-250-6007. If you'd like to chime in, or of course you can chime in the chat room. But the studio line is open, 603-250-6007. My gut reaction to this is, what are you doing? Why would you? This is weird to me for a couple of reasons. Number one, why would you go out of your way to alienate your fans that way, your diehard fans? Because obviously, if anybody is actually going and following the band around, buying tickets to multiple shows, you're only doing that, unless you're a scalper, you're only doing that if you're a diehard fan. So why would you want to alienate your most dedicated fans like that? That's bizarre. And I think really self-sabotaging. It's really strange. Another thing that I find very odd about this is, are you trying to tell me that when you're on stage and you look out at the crowd, first of all, I mean, the Pretenders, they've got to be in their 70s at least, right? Well, I shouldn't say at least. I'm sure they're not in their 80s, but they have to be in their 70s, if not late 60s. I mean, are they actually able, like, is Chrissie Hynde, maybe she wears contact lenses and it corrects her vision to 20/20. I have no idea, but I'm just saying, is she able to actually look out at the crowd and see, as she's performing, look at the faces, look at the people she sees in the front row, and look at them, see their faces clearly enough to identify, hey, these are all the same people I saw at the previous show? And even if she can do that, I find it really hard to believe. Look, I know they're a legendary band, but is this really a problem? Like, is it actually all the same people in the front row of every show? I just find that hard to believe. Yes, there are people who will, if they really love a band, if they're a diehard, if they're a super fan, they'll buy tickets and try to go to as many different shows as they can. I mean, look, I'm a Kiss fan. Kiss is my favorite band of all time. I know plenty of, I never did it, but I know plenty of Kiss fans who, when Kiss would go on tour, especially the farewell tour, because it was in theory the last time you'd see them, right? The end of the road tour. People who had the money, because it's expensive, people would buy tickets for multiple shows and kind of follow the band, and of course, there's bands that are legendary for having those kinds of fans that would do that kind of thing. Like the Grateful Dead is probably the epitome of that, right? The classic example of, you had all these Deadheads who would actually sort of go on tour with the band, and that they would follow when the band would go on tour. These people would follow, I don't know how anyone affords it, but how, would follow the band on tour and go to all the shows. And it gets to a point where the band gets to know the fans, gets to know these super fans, knows them by name, develops relationships with them because they see them so much, But do the Pretenders, as they're doing these shows, is it literally the same people in the front row? I just find that hard to believe. Isn't that that seems like a stretch. Again, I'm not knocking the band in terms of, their place in music history and their fan base, I'm sure, is even in 2024. Obviously, these shows are selling out. So obviously their fan base is enormous. But I just find it hard to believe that Chrissie Hynde is actually looking at the front row and seeing the exact same set of people every night. And even if she is, why do you want to do this to those people? Why do you want to talk to them that way? Why do you want to alienate them? it's bizarre to me. And what in her mind would make her think that this was a good idea to say this publicly? And you're chastising people, really. It's very, not to sound cliche, but if this even still means anything in 2024, but it's very un-rock and roll, I would say. Telling people, well, if you buy a ticket, I don't want to see you in the front row more than once. It's just, I find this very bizarre. I find this whole thing very strange. Let's see. So here's the next part of the article. This ought to be good. Fans react to the band's request. Now, I did not pre-read this, so I'm going to make a prediction. And I'm going to predict that the reaction was not positive. But let's see. Well, again, if you're just learning about this as I am, we'll learn together. But so it's not a spoiler, but I'm guessing that that there was a bit of a negative pushback on this. Okay. It says, Chrissie Hynde's announcement divided fans across several social media platforms. While some praised the singer and guitarist for her thoughtfulness and willingness to prioritize local crowds, others condemned the message, saying it was disrespectful to her most devoted fans. These fans, the dissenter argues, deserved top priority. By the way, let me stop there for a moment. I don't even think of it in those terms. I don't think of it in terms of who deserves. Nobody deserves top priority. This is, touring is a business operating in a free market. Whoever buys the tickets buys the tickets. Whoever's going to the show is going to the show. If you buy a front row ticket, you get your front row seat. That's it. There's no, it's not a matter of priority. It's a matter of first come, first serve. Now, I know that it's not a perfect system, and we've talked a lot on the show again with the Oasis debacle with the tickets and the dynamic pricing, which is very controversial. I don't want to take that side street right now, but I get it. But look, it's not a matter of, if you really want to quote unquote prioritize local crowds, then maybe if you can, maybe you devise this might be too convoluted and complex, but you could do it. Devise a system where when you buy a ticket, if you show residency, sound like I'm talking about voting, but we don't do politics here. But if you show residency, maybe if you're buying a ticket to that local show, then you get a free meet and greet, right? That's part of the, because that's a big thing now with these. And I don't know if the Pretenders is doing anything like that, but you can, on a lot of big tours, you can buy a meet and greet package and you get to meet the band and have them sign things and say a few words to you. I don't know. You could do something like that. You could do something special. If somebody proves their local residency, they get to meet you. I don't know. If you're really that serious about this, but this is just strange. This is just strange. Okay, so here's an example. Here's some examples of some of the reactions. One angry fan posted on Facebook, quote, "Talk about how to kick your biggest supporters in the teeth. And I suppose you don't want your photo taken either. Get off the stage if you can't appreciate the people who have kept you there. I just found this statement really insulting. Talk about taking your biggest supporters for granted. Sorry, we're bored of your quote. Sorry, we're bored of your faces, unquote." Yeah. Again, Chrissie Hynde is not, clearly it is not her intention to kick Pretenders fans in the teeth, but she just doesn't want to have to see your teeth. She doesn't want you close enough. She doesn't want to have to see your teeth on more than one night, I guess. Other self-described Uber fans stood by Hynde's request. Okay, so here's an example of a supporter. One commenter said, quote, "It's not always about you. At this point in time, it's about the band who wants to keep things fresh at the end of a long tour for the benefit of all those who attend, and for local fans, 99% of whom this is their only and maybe last chance to see the band. You don't own the band and shouldn't own the front row experience. And well done, Chrissy, for having the guts to courteously point that out, unquote. But the commenter says here, this commenter is saying, well, 99% of these people, this will be their only chance to see the band. So that kind of undercuts the point, doesn't it? Okay, Dead by Wednesday is here. So I'm going to go let them in, and I'm going to play this, the new single, their cover of No Easy Way Out. Check this out. This is really good. So good. No Easy Way Out. You might have heard that song before. A gentleman named Robert Tepper had a hit with that in the 80s. But that is Dead by Wednesday, and that is a brand new single. And we're spinning it here, and we have two of the members from Dead by Wednesday here with us live in studio. We've got Mike and Esteban here. How are you guys?
Hey.
Good morning.
That damn Hartford Marathon delayed you guys, but I'm glad you made it.
As soon as we hit the highway, I was like, "Oh my God, wrong decision."
I was gonna play the song regardless. Like if for some reason you didn't get here, I was just gonna play it anyway at the end of the show. But no, that's really, really good. Now, Mike, so we were talking when you were in the other. So you're an original member. You've been here the whole time.
Yes.
How long? When did Dead by Wednesday start?
Probably.
Oh, pull that mic up.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry, those mics are a problem. There you go.
Okay.
Perfect.
So, wow. I think Opus and I met probably late 03. The idea conjured up around 04 and made it official 2005.
Okay. Yeah. I thought it had been about 20 years. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Gone in the blink of an eye, right? It goes quicker than we know.
That is true.
And Esteban, how long have you been in the band now?
This January will be 5 years.
5 years?
5 years already, Mike.
Yeah, I know. Wow.
Does it seem longer to you, or does it seem quicker?
Like that.
Like that? Yeah.
In a way, it seems longer, but then when you think back at it, you're just like, it went by super fast.
Yeah, no doubt. What went into the decision to cover this song? It's not. I don't think I've ever heard anyone cover "No Easy Way Out," but I always like the song. It's catchy as hell, and it sounds great. Like, why did you guys pick that song?
You want to take it?
So Opus is a big Karate Kid and Rocky fan, and I mean, who doesn't like Rocky?
Right.
You know what I mean? So
yeah.
It was. I think it originated with Opus and Dave. And then how did it come about?
It was Opus presented the idea, and usually I say that, but I do recall when I watched Rocky IV as a kid, I heard that song, and I was like, wow, I bet this song could take off like the previous, Eye of the Tiger, the previous. Like the Rocky series always had a hit single.
Yes. Yep.
So I was like, okay, this will probably be it. And it just kind of fizzled out. So when he presented the idea, I was like, possibly.
Yeah.
And then we just kind of toyed around with it, and he kept pushing it. It's like, hey, try it, listen to it.
Yeah.
So he kept pushing it, and it just morphed,
Well, then we jammed it that one time in the space, and then we were just like, oh, it kind of sounds really good.
Yeah.
So.
No, it's excellent, and it's already getting played like on Sirius XM. Is
Yeah.
playing it, right?
It's actually been playing there, I think, since the third.
It's been a week.
3rd or 7th, something like that.
It's been. I know it's been a week.
Yeah.
At least a week.
Yeah, excellent. I assume this is part of the live set now. You guys playing this live?
We are going to introduce it into the set in 2 weeks.
Nice. At Swarmy Fest?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Looking forward to Swarmy Fest and seeing you guys. It's been a long time since I've seen you guys live, so really looking forward to this. Yeah.
The last time we were on stage was May.
Okay.
Yeah.
June.
Yeah.
Playing
June. Yeah. So yeah, it's been a minute for us.
Yeah. And then now you've got a big next year, right? There's a big tour.
Yeah, we got a tour that's happening in January, starting January 7th in Brooklyn, and then ending January 12th, I believe, in Albany. And we're running with Skin Lab.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Have you toured with them before? Or?
Nope.
No, it's exciting. This is the first time. I mean, we've hung out with some of those dudes like out in California, out in NAMM, but this is our first time actually jamming with them. So pretty excited.
Yeah.
And then we've got another run in March with Category 7.
Okay.
That is the new supergroup. I know John Bush is the vocalist.
Oh.
It's like a who's who of, I'm trying to pull up the members, but
Jason Bittner is the drummer.
Bittner's on drums.
Okay.
John Bush on vocals. And then
Didn't they got a former member of Exodus?
I believe so, yeah. It's a great lineup.
I'll have to look that up.
We're doing a few shows in March supporting their tour.
Yeah.
With them and Exorder.
Exhorter.
Okay.
Someone who else?
Exhorter, Hand of the Tribe.
Hand of the Tribe. Yep.
Category 7. Yeah.
Oh, very good. Very good. I'm curious, Mike, because you've been there with Opus from the beginning. Has the approach changed at all over the years in terms of the live show or even recording? Like you said, with No Easy Way Out, he had to kind of talk you into it. Like, has that process changed over the years, over 20 years, or
not really? I mean, you're going to have some, as members change, your, I don't know, ideology, your approach to writing and performing changes, but again, it kind of evolves. So, at the end of the day, you're 3 guys, 4 guys working together. So once you can gel, once you can communicate and get along, the music part, the composition and the creativity isn't all that. It's not that hard.
Right. Is it challenging when, because you and Opus have been, like I said, from the beginning, the core of it, like having all these changes over the years. Is there ever a point where you go, well, we've had a lot of changes, and I don't know if we can keep doing this. I mean, do you ever kind of second guess that, or are you just so committed to it you just keep going?
I think maybe the last 2 were like, oh man, because we had written material, we had another album, like we had the timeline laid out for a year.
Yeah.
We had like 6 songs in the can, like we were on a roll. And then when you have these lineup changes, then it's like, okay, well, you can't use this song because once you throw all that stuff into the mix, then it's like turmoil, and then you gotta. So the last one of those, I was like, man, that's tough but again, when the right personnel is in play, then you rebound quicker. But yeah, it can be, you're building something, then all of a sudden just
right.
Nope, sorry, not
right.
happening.
Yeah, and then it's like, oh,
again.
Again, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So Esteban, how did you come to be in the band? How did you become the singer?
So it was right before COVID, I believe, January of 2020. The band had gotten a call. We were going to go on a 30-day tour. And yeah, it was like 4 or 6 weeks. It was.
I think it was slated for 6, but realistically, there was no way it was going to be 6. I didn't buy into that, but I think we had at least 3 or 4.
Yeah, it was long. I knew we had to take like a week and a half off because they had to break into Canada and another band was going to hook up. But it was the band had gotten slated for that, and the vocalist before me had just picked up a new career.
Oh,
so it was like one of those things of like, what do I do? Do I go on tour, pass up the opportunity? So I mean, anybody would have taken the opportunity he did. So
yeah.
And at that point, I was with another band, a smaller local band, and Opus had given me a call, and he was just like, "Hey, come down and audition." And I think, what was it, like 2-3 days later, I came down and auditioned. And then like 3 days after that, I got the call, and they were just like, "Hey, come aboard.
Yeah.
If you want to come on this tour." I'm like, sweet. Requested the time off of work and everything, and then dun dun dun, COVID.
Yep. When you auditioned, did you know? Like, did you get? Because sometimes guys will say, I auditioned for this band and I just knew it felt right.
Yeah.
Like, did you know it or?
For me, it felt really good as soon as I got there. Like, just the energy when we jammed and everything. It felt right.
Yeah.
It felt good.
Yeah. Did you know Mike right off the bat that he was the guy?
Yeah.
I mean, I know he's sitting right next to you. Put you on the spot.
No, I remember feeling like, all right, this is like a seamless transition.
Yeah.
Like, I don't remember any like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like we clicked like that.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And that's nice when that happens too, when you can have a seamless, because I've been in bands, not at the level that you guys are at, but I know like when this changes and it's like, when someone new comes in and they're just the right person right away, it's like, oh, thank God, this is going to be easier than.
And prior to him, we had a couple auditions. We had some, and like you knew within the first 2 minutes. You're like, all right, I'll give the guy the benefit of the doubt, and then 5 minutes later, you're like, all right, no.
Yeah, yeah. What
So-
like when others would audition, like what would be the prop? Like were they just not up to the material, or
We had one dude, like, I want to say I didn't hear what he had done before. I think I knew he was in a band. They told me, all right, he's singing in this band. And I think I heard a song. I was like, okay, sounds great. He comes in, and I don't know, maybe he just doesn't audition well, but he was nervous as, I don't know if I can curse on this, but he was nervous as anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he, to compensate for that, he had been drinking.
Oh,
so
no.
he shows up like reeking of alcohol.
Oh, wow.
Nervous. Now that combination, you can't sing.
Right.
You
right.
know? And then it was like, look, guys, like, so we said, look, go home.
Yep.
Let's try this again.
Oh, it was nice of you to say, let's try
Yeah.
this again. That's
came back.
pretty generous.
He came back.
Yeah.
Still, better, but no. So we had like stuff like that, or people who tell you they're going to come down and then they don't.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Usually the best I found is through word of mouth, or like bands who know other bands, or
Yeah.
approach other people. The way I met Opus, I approached him and I was like, look, dude, you and I should start a band. I never met him.
No kidding. Yeah.
I was like, I'm a better bass player than the guy that you're playing with right now, and we need to start a band.
Yeah.
So sometimes you got to just like, talk to people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Was that intimidating? Because he's an intense guy. I think. I mean, from when I've met him, he's.
I was at a point. Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
And it was, but I was at a point at the time where I was looking for something serious, and all the bands that I auditioned for at the time, they weren't serious. They weren't on it. And he was.
Yeah.
So I was like, I've got nothing to lose.
Exactly. Yeah. You got to take.
So,
take
but
that
yeah,
chance.
you're right. Yeah, it's he had a big mohawk.
Yeah.
Just had a G-soul. So
Yep.
he Opus, everyone knows.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was like this. Who is this guy? Larger than life, like personality, but
Right.
But yeah, you are correct.
Did you, Esteban, like other bands that you've played in, were they similar in terms of the, your vocal approach? Obviously it's intense, and did you sing that way in other bands prior to this, or?
Yeah. I mean, I think that was probably the I mean, it was still difficult to transition, but the easiest point of the transition was the vocal style was still the same way. I went from, scream singing to scream singing again.
Yeah.
So it was pretty accommodating in those terms.
Yeah. I'm always fascinated by that, by singers who can do that. Do you have to do anything to kind of protect your throat? Like, do you have any kind of a regimen?
Yeah, I mean, just like any other vocalist, you have to watch what you do, prior and post, performances. You have to make sure you're hydrated, teas, things like that. I normally steam my face, and I take like the normal Vapo steamer that you use like when you're sick.
Yeah.
So I use that, and it's like a instant hydrator to my voice and like nasal passages and stuff. So I do that, and I normally drink some tea beforehand. I do some warm-ups and then get into it, and then afterwards I normally try to steam my voice. Like when we're on tour especially, I try to steam my face before I go to sleep.
Oh, okay.
For sure.
So if you do that before you go to sleep, when you wake up, you're
a little bit, because I mean it all depends on the atmosphere of the club too, because they may be using steam machine, fog machines.
Yep.
Like when we were in Europe, smoking was allowed in clubs, so that was
really?
That was
Oh, that was rough.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah.
The thing is, we haven't been used to it here in the U.S. for 20 plus years. So
Right.
going over there, you're just like, oh, I forgot about this.
They stuck us in the smoking room as our, all right, keep your gear and all your cases and everything, and you can hang out here.
Oh, no.
In the smoking room.
Oh,
with
wow.
no ventilation. Maybe a window.
Oh,
It was
that's
horrendous.
Brutal.
Yeah.
Brutal.
I mean, no fault to them culturally.
Right, yeah, that's their culture.
It's their
We
culture.
we weren't prepared.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna die.
By the way, where do you guys record? Does Opus, does he have a recording studio or?
So,
or he did, or
depending, like during COVID, we're all able to individually
Yeah.
record on our own.
Yeah.
So we can be able to record tracks like at home.
Yeah.
But during COVID, we did that, and then we still went in a little bit and did some in studio stuff with Nikki Belmore with Dexter's Lab down in Milford, Connecticut.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and we worked with him, and most of the time we cut our tracks at home.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
COVID, it forced us to, utilize this technology that was already there.
Yep.
But a lot of the tracks on our last album were done, like I would record my bass tracks on my computer, like while I was on vacation with my family or something, and I'd send in bass tracks for a couple songs. Did you record yours live?
Yeah.
Or?
No. I mean, I only recorded a few live.
Yep.
But most of the time, I recorded them at home.
Dave did some tracks at home.
Yeah.
So we just sent the stems to Nikki.
Yeah.
He mixed them together, and that would be the track. But this last one, No Easy Way Out, he and I recorded the bass. Like I recorded at his place.
Okay. Okay.
And then we sent, at least for the bass, and then we sent that in.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, we've been, it's like, I don't know, there doesn't need to be a central location for everything, so.
It's amazing, isn't it, to live in a time where we have all
crazy.
this technology
Yeah.
and we can do all this stuff. And,
Crazy.
it comes up a lot on the show too about how, the pandemic was terrible, but you have to find these silver linings where you can. And one big silver lining is it did kind of force people to be creative in terms of how they do things and find ways to be creative they maybe hadn't considered before.
It created a new industry.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Like, and people, unless you grew up in an era where that was not possible.
Yep.
It's just, to me, it's crazy that I can record a track that can literally, like, No Easy Way Out. Like, when I was recording it and when I was coming up with my bass parts, you're not thinking of you're thinking of the end process, but you're not thinking of, but it's just crazy to me to record this in a house or a basement and have it broadcast globally.
Yeah.
And sound pristine.
I know.
Mike and I have talked about that many times,
Yeah.
like on tour. It's like,
I love it.
We have the ability to be able to record anywhere we want. Like,
Yep.
Back in the day, bands had to lock
That-
themselves away
or
for weeks
like
at
the
a time.
major big artists that could afford the equipment to bring with,
Yeah, exactly.
Having an in-home studio was
Yeah.
like a super privilege at that point.
Oh, yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
available to anyone.
Yeah, absolutely. Time goes quick. I wish we had more, but I want to make sure. So November 2nd, it's the event is at Taffeta in Lowell. It was originally supposed to be at Jewel, but for anyone who doesn't know, it's at Taffeta in Lowell, Swarmy Fest. Jenny and I will be there. Really looking forward to seeing you guys.
I am so excited.
Yeah, super excited. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a bunch of great bands there. What should people, anything you want people to know about? Obviously, you want them to know the new single is out, your cover of No Easy Way Out. And what should people know else about what you guys are doing? Is there...
Wow. Check us out on our social media feeds. We've got some shows coming up that, what is the...
You got a couple tours coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, the tours with Skin Lab.
The Skin Lab tour.
Yeah.
That's going to be Northeast show.
January 7th through
Northeast
12th.
region, and our final date is
January 12th.
Is that the one in Albany or
Yep,
Pennsylvania?
that's all one in Albany. We start in Brooklyn on the 7th. We go Brooklyn, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Massachusetts, Connecticut, and then back up to Albany. So hopefully listeners out there can be able to link up with us at some point in one of those shows. I'd love to have you guys come out.
Yeah, excellent. And we'll close out with Wasteland. And this you were saying off air too. This won an award or was nominated for an award?
Yeah, we got nominated for 2 categories. We got nominated for New England Best Metal Band and also Best Music Video. And Wasteland, this is the one we filmed out in the the Mojave Desert, California for Wasteland Weekend. Yeah.
Oh, the video is wild. It looks like that was. I mean, was that as big a production as it looks like? I mean, it's like watching a mini movie. It's,
We had hooked up with another festival that was happening. We were playing
that we
there.
performed at.
Yeah.
And our videographer, she happened to be there. We got the permissions and the rights to be able to film, and
wow,
everybody was with it, and it was kind of like it was a last minute spur of the moment thing, and everybody was on board, so we just ran with it. And
oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was a happy accident.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. Great job. I recommend people check it out, the video for Wasteland. All right, we got to go, guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much again. Sorry for being a little bit late, but we love you guys, and check us out.
And we will see you on November 2nd.
Yes,
at Taffeta and Lowell at Swarmy Fest. All right, very good. And if you missed any part of today's show, it'll be up in just a little bit. But we will leave you with this. Check this out. This is Wasteland. This is Dead by Wednesday.